Good morning, and welcome to the Demons Clubcast episode 18 with your hosts, Mad Dog, K13, and myself, UncleChowdr. It's a beautiful morning here where I'm at. It's almost 50 degrees already, so
Mm-hmm.
it's been pretty nice. The snow's been out of lean, and I just like to start this episode off by saying thank you to everyone who has been checking on me. We've last week we took a break. I had my grandmother in the hospital, so just had some stuff going on. But I appreciate everybody for checking in and saying what's up and whatnot, and appreciate you guys for being homies. So, um,
Love you, man.
yeah, love you guys
Good.
too. Grandma's good. She's out of the hospital. She's at home. So she spent her first night in the house last night, in her house last night. So all good there. Feeling pretty good about that. Um, so that's really good news. But as usual, let's jump right into what we've been playing. Mad Dog, let's start with you today.
I mean, the little bit that I did get to play was Warzone.
Yeah, we played last night a little bit.
Yeah, I kept getting interrupted, kept having to go disappear for an extended period of time, so
no big
we didn't get as much as we wanted. But yeah, dude, it's been Warzone. I don't know why, other than the homies. Honestly, like I've just been kind of itching to play with friends, and so that's what we play.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's quite
Still a good
literally
time with friends.
Honestly,
yeah. I mean, that's the point.
I was gonna say, like, you know, I've seen some shit on Twitter. Like, I shared a video in the group chat of fucking Aaron the Loco figuring out that he can drive a vehicle on the bottom of the fucking river and sat underneath the water inside of a vehicle without getting any damage and sat there and fucking shot the shit out of anybody who swam by him and even ran somebody over who was swimming too low in the river. So Warzone still obviously got its problems, but I can tell you, like, last night when I was sitting playing, like, I was playing solos while I was solo queuing into squads. I was still honestly having a good time. Like, where the weapons are sitting right now, there's quite a few different assault rifles that people are considering meta. Like, I've noticed there's, like, I would say probably 4 assault rifles I see a lot of people using consistently, and then I still see people using the BASB. I do kind of like how this time they've shaken it out enough that I'm not getting killed by one gun every single time I get killed. So, I have been enjoying every time I play Warzone. Is that all you had time to play though? Have you been able to jump back into Hogwarts at all, Mad Dog?
No, I tried to the other day.
Dang.
I actually had so I had on top of, we went to a hockey game the other night, and so on top of kind of doing some other stuff throughout with the family. I tried to remote play in because I've been having some, I don't want to say medical issues, but pretty close to, just kind of stuff I'm going and getting checked out on. And so one night I was gonna like just kind of sit in the bath and just relax after one of the bad days with it. And I couldn't get my phone to remote play because I was like, I'm not going downstairs, but I'll do Hogwarts from here. And I just couldn't get it to connect, and I was kind of upset about that.
Well,
so yeah, all I've had time since last show was Warzone.
Word. Well, respect on that one. I hope whatever things you got going on get better, my friend.
Oh, it's they're not too concerned right now. So if they're not concerned, I'm not concerned.
Yeah,
that's the way I'm gonna keep it right now.
Like the good old adage goes, no news is good news.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's where I'm at, man.
Basically.
So and then I guess K13, I'll hop right into what you've been playing, which we're featuring your gameplay today, some Chivalry 2.
Yeah, been really digging that. I just started was it Friday or Saturday? We jumped in on that. It's been super fun. We've only really done like training grounds, but it's nice to just get a feel for the mechanics and how things move and how you're supposed to swing and yada yada.
Yeah.
Um, we've gone on some pretty cool like kill streaks, like 20 plus. It's nice to get some of those in. Uh, but you can definitely tell like who the real players are, and
Right
then
away.
they just they just grind, bro. Like some of those guys just get away with absolutely everything, and I'm like, how do I stop that? And
Yeah, dude.
I just need to level up more and um, get a better feel for the game, of course, too. But
Oh yeah, it's like that.
it's been super fun. It's fucking chaos.
Yeah, dude. It's like that one dude who hopped in my chat. He said he's just touching level 400 in this game, and that's like his total overall rank. So he says this is
That's
like
crazy.
he says this is like the only game he plays, and I love Chivalry 2 just because, like you said, it's chaos, but the fighting is like the sword fighting is actually a little bit more intricate than people would like think by looking at this game on the
Oh yeah.
surface. Like there's your you got your big right to left slashes and then overhand attacks and stabs. So I mean, it's not like you can do whatever the fuck you want, but if you combo shit right, I mean, it looks really good. And the blocking and everything, like when you're getting into a good fight with another real player and you're sitting there blocking attacks back and forth and you finally get a good hit on him or like cut an arm off or something, it's really satisfying. Like it's really fucking
Yeah.
satisfying, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
It's been super fun.
yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
playing the training grounds is honestly a lot of fun too sometimes because like once you get the swing timing down and you get some different weapons, like using that big Dane axe that I like to use, I go running
Mhm.
into a group of bots, and if you get that first swing time just right, you can. I've killed 4 of those bots in one swing. If you drag right with your fucking swings and
Oh
you
yeah.
turn to the left and right, you can just lop off heads, dude, and it makes you feel so powerful. You're just running through a whole group of dudes, and everybody's just falling at your feet. You're like, yeah. So it's
I definitely had some nice like 3-for-1s, or I don't know if I had a 4-for-1, but definitely had some good kills that I'm pretty happy with.
yeah, no, and it's just good chaotic fun. Like it's
Hmm.
gory, body parts are flying off. You can pick up people's heads and throw them at people. Like it's just good ridiculous fucking chaos. And I wish this game was more popular. Like when it hit Xbox Game Pass, the numbers bumped up big time, but it kind of leveled out after a while. I think
Yeah.
some people just don't they don't get it as like it's not, and you're not shooting anything besides arrows if you're an archer, and we all know how hard being an archer in this game is just from listening to Luke. So
Yeah.
and I don't even play archer that much, and I play this game a lot. Like I don't even play archer that much. I prefer the melee weapons in this game. Like that's what it's all about for me.
Hmm.
So I just wish they would fix their crossplay.
Yeah, we had a little bit of issues with that, trying to get Chow in a party
Mm-hmm.
from since he was on Xbox. The what's that code that they have, like your friend code or
Yeah,
whatever?
they're friends.
Uh, it just like wasn't working. And then also though, I'm having issues when I go to like my friends list. Like I can only invite the top person. So if
Yeah.
like multiple people are online, I can't scroll. So I just like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I have to say, like, this game's been out for a while, and it does disappoint me that they're
Yeah,
joining.
some basic features are just
Well,
like
yeah, it's like I don't know what
missing.
exactly you would call it, but the connectivity of this game has always been like this. Like even in the very beginning when I was playing this game with just my buddy Ty all the time on like when and we're both on Xbox, like it would just give us some issues every once in a while. But like, it's still like once you get in there, it works just fine and you can see your homies and everything, plays good. But it's just the
Hmm.
fact of actually trying to get into a fucking party with your friend that's such a pain in the ass. And what really made me mad about that friend code thing is like it worked well enough that I can see you in my friends list as a fucking Chivalry 2 friend. It doesn't show the PS symbol, but it shows the globe and it has your name there. So I know that we are friends on fucking Chivalry 2, but of course it's not going to let me fucking use that or invite you. It just makes it'll let me scroll to your name and I can click on you, but it just makes this dumb like like clicking sound when you're going through the menu, like it's not doing anything when I click on your name. So I am glad I bought this game on PlayStation 2, and honestly I don't mind buying it twice just because buying the game is a great way to support the devs like
Yeah.
directly. So I've bought it again and I have no problem with that. This game I've put a ton of hours into, and until they get the crossplay to work, it's just nice to be able to have it on both systems because that way I can play with the homies anywhere. So
Right. Yeah. And it was on sale too, so
it was
not too bad.
I was gonna say, if you did it right, which was funny, the game itself is on sale on PlayStation for $16. And then if you look right through all the special editions, the King's Edition, which is what I have on Xbox, is still $60. But if you buy the base game for $16, the fucking King's Edition content pack standalone is only $4. Yeah. So you can get the whole game with the King's Edition for $20 if you buy them separate.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that was a small oversight on whoever's running the store's part, but if not, that's hilarious. Like, thank you for doing that. You should have just made the King's Edition fucking $20 and been done with it, but okay.
Right. And then just have the base game on sale for whatever it was, 15, 16, whatever.
They could even make the King's Edition like $25 and they would make profit
Right.
off of that because you'd see that and be like, oh my God, it's on sale. Buy. And then you'd find out.
Before even looking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do that all the time with games. Like, I really want Hogwarts, but I always keep an eye out for the deluxe edition just in case.
Yeah.
No,
that base one's always on sale.
Yeah. No.
I 100% agree with that. Watching for that. Especially if, in some games it's different. Like, there's a few games where I've just bought the base for and I'm like, that should be good. I'm probably hardly gonna play this. But like Chivalry 2, I played, like, I didn't even buy the King's Edition content first on Xbox. I bought the game base, played it, and was like, this fucking game is amazing. Let me buy the King's Edition content. So and that says a lot too. You know, it's not like this. I don't know how many developers were in or had their hands in making this game, but I have to say, for a what I would call a double A fucking shooter, just or a double A fucking multiplayer game, it's really well done and it holds itself together pretty well for the most part. So
yeah, it's been pretty fun. It plays pretty smooth for the most part. Other than just like the party stuff, it's been fun.
Yeah.
And I had like some major internet issues yesterday morning, so that was, I don't think, Chivalry's fault.
Okay. I was gonna ask, is that what happened yesterday? Because I noticed you played for a while and then we hopped into another Pred match and you disappeared. I was like, oh no.
Oh well, with Pred, I was just hating.
Oh no, I get that. I get that.
Here, I'll ban that guy.
Thank you.
Get up out of here.
I was just doing the same thing. I'm not gonna pay for your growth. I want organic fucking people watching this shit. So, thank you.
Get out of here.
But after Pred though, I played more of the finals. That's like my second go about it.
Okay.
I really like it. It plays a lot like Apex and Call of Duty, but like mixed, so it's not as crazy as Apex. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's a little more fast paced than Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But pretty similar mechanics. Changing the weapons a little different. You can, I think it's L1 you hold, and then you just have like a weapon wheel.
Yeah. That was one thing that was throwing me off about that game, is I don't really like the all the different wheels that you use for getting to all your gear, like your grenades and all that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's tolerable. Like, I'm not like, it's tolerable, but I'm just not a huge fan of that.
In a pinch, it's hard to switch if you just flick the controller, because it's going to go to the opposite side that you want. So you got to just hold it, and sometimes that's a little hard just because you're also running and trying to get through doorways and jump and all that. So it can be a little frustrating. I imagine it's a lot easier to play on like console or PC or if you have like a super mapped controller, I guess. I haven't taken the time to do that, so
yeah, I thought about looking at that stuff, but the thing is like, what I would like is just I would appreciate, like, there's a lot of gear in Battlefield, so like I wish they could have just done it off of directional pad touches, you know what I mean? Like, made it a little bit more
it seems easier that way.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, it's still, I see what you mean. Like, I don't mind the game. there was a couple little things that I had a little issues with, but I was also playing it by myself. I feel like if I had a bunch of friends that I was playing with, I would probably enjoy it more. That's the big
Yeah, and that's
thing.
where I'm at. I'm
It's
solo, so I'm just kind of relying on my teammates to mostly do the cash outs and the
Mm-hmm.
vaults and stuff, and I'm just going for kills.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think I capped 16 was my highest. And cash out for just a quick play game is 20,000, and that's two cash out boxes. So depending on the match, so it goes pretty quick. 15 minutes maybe at most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they go quick, and then there's like a tournament style, so you can battle even more people, and those are pretty crazy because there's like multiple cash outs going at the same time. So you kind of have to move quick.
Yeah. That game
But
definitely could. Looks like it could be a really hell of a good time. So I definitely am gonna re-download it for my Xbox because I'll play it with you guys.
hell yeah. I'm trying to get more people on it,
Mm-hmm.
just because it is free on PlayStation right now. So why not?
I
Um,
think the finals is free to play. Period. If I remember correctly.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Okay.
so. But this is its first time coming to PlayStation. It
Oh.
was
Mm-hmm.
on Steam forever, and it had a lot of hype when it was first introduced. So I definitely wanted to try it, and I'm not like not disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things I would like a
It.
little different, like the weapon wheel thing would be much easier on the directional pad. But
Yeah. It
who am
was.
I to judge?
It was definitely received about the same on Xbox. Like
Yeah,
it just it people and and it which surprised me a little bit just because Xbox is really known as the shooter box. I figured it would have been received a little bit better, but I just feel like right now with Warzone being Warzone, I mean it's Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty. Everybody's fucking playing that shit. And
yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna jump into that more as we get into the later subjects. But it's looking more and more like Activision games are gonna end up on Game Pass. So
Nice.
yeah. So but as for what I've been playing, Chivalry 2 with the boys, Predecessor. I've been grinding a shitload of Division 2 in the background. The addiction is real. It's back. Um, um,
Nice, dude.
which I already know how I know how this addiction works. You see, I we're right now I'm on like the fake stuff, which is Division 2. I'm like getting my high right now off the fake stuff, and then here pretty soon I'm not going to be able to take the fake stuff anymore, and I'm going to re-download Destiny 2 and it's all over from there. That's how it works, dude. I know I've
You're
done this
done with that.
exact fucking cycle before and I'm on it
You're
right
screwed.
now. So,
You're screwed.
yeah, and
Isn't the last or the next DLC the last one for
the
Destiny 2 as well?
the it's like it's called the final shape is what it's
Ooh.
called. And I have a Destiny 2 subject to talk about later as well that was kind of a big deal over the last couple weeks.
Cool.
But
All right.
yeah, Destiny 2's next DLC is their final one and it comes out June 4th this year. Um so I'll definitely be hopping back into Destiny 2. When I'm not 100% sure, but I'm definitely going to play out the final bit of Destiny 2. Like I can't not play out the final bit. It'd be stupid of me not to. I've put so much time into this game and I will spend a little bit more money to play it. Like I don't care. It's like I've gone this far. I'm not going to give up yet. So and I do miss that. I do miss Destiny 2 all the time. Like and this is all personal opinion, right? This is all personal
Right.
opinion, but
Absolutely.
I still don't think I've played a first person shooter that has as clean and good feeling first person shooting mechanics as Destiny 2. And that's just my opinion. Like I love Call of Duty and it feels so clean and it plays really good, but Destiny 2 is still one up for me and it always will be. The way they incorporated the powers and your weapons and all that stuff together, it just feels so good when I play it. Like when I take a break for a while and I come back, I'm like smiling the entire time because I'm like, this is why I fucking love this game because it just makes you feel so good as you're running through the map and blowing shit up. Um,
Right.
so I mean,
No.
like I said, that's personal opinion. 100% know that people are going to disagree with me, and that's 100% fine. I know Joe will agree with me. I know that Mean Joe will agree with me. But
hands down.
I
Hands
think,
down.
yeah.
I'm the same way.
I still think that Destiny 2 is like top tier for me. And that's why I put so much time into it, just because like once you find a gameplay loop that's satisfying, you can just go into it and do it over and over again. So, I'm speaking of which, I'm really excited for Spider-Man 2's fucking New Game Plus mode, which we'll talk about some more here shortly.
Ooh.
Fucking that's coming out in March. And I'm super stoked because the gameplay loop is fun. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. I fucking am trying to play the DLC, but I seen that New Game Plus button and I'm like, motherfucker. Like, and then I got too many games I'm trying to juggle and play right now. It's ridiculous. Like, I sat down and looked at all of my shit yesterday that I was playing, and I was like, I need to calm down a little bit. Yeah, chill.
2-3 is okay, man. When you start getting into,
I'm at like 5 or 6 right now. Confident I can say 5
crazy,
or 6.
bro.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like I'm overwhelmed with like the 4 games that I'm playing.
Yeah, dude. Well, and that's the thing is like, and I like, my brain is just so filled with fucking video game numbers all the time now, dude. It's ridiculous, especially because I started playing Division 2 again. That shit is literally all about damage numbers and like fucking critical hit chance and all of the nonsense that goes in with that kind of shit, dude. It can be super overwhelming sometimes. I fucking have to sit down and like I have note pages on my computer because I'm sitting there typing shit out and like trying to like remember stuff without having to flip screens multiple times, taking pictures on my phone and shit. Like, but I mean, it's what I enjoy doing. It's what I enjoy doing. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, that's about all I have been playing all those games, but that's what I've been playing. I'm still trying to work my way to God of War Ragnarok. I really want to play that game, but it's been a pain in the ass. But let's hop right into this Destiny 2 shit I wanted to talk about since we were just talking about it. It's a good way to kind of segment in.
Let's hear it, because I'm the same way when it comes to Destiny. I mean,
Yeah.
Destiny 1 was hands down probably my favorite game ever. It was my first real introduction into that I don't know, the gameplay of the raids and the fucking strikes, like all that weekly, like that game style. I love first person shooters, so that's what drew me to it. And then to throw in, dude, absolutely hands down probably my favorite game ever. Destiny 2, I loved it. The problem is, and I'm with everybody, I'm with you and Joe on this one, the problem with it is the way they do it.
Yep.
And the paywalls and everything like that, and I just can't fathom.
Yep. And it's in Destiny 2,
doing it
all the glowing things I just said about it, hear me say this, and I mean every word I'm about to say. Destiny 2 is the worst game for a new player to pick up and try. It is the worst game. If you did not start playing Destiny 2 before they fucking overhauled everything and changed it to where it's at right now and played it from the beginning, I tell everybody all the time, don't even start it. Don't even start the game. You won't understand what's going on. You're gonna be confused, and unless you're ready to dole out like $120, you're not even gonna be able to play any of the shit that everybody else is playing, where all of the good gear and the good armor is and shit. That's why it's one of those games, like, if you've been playing from the beginning, you almost are stupid not to keep going unless you're just done with Destiny. And so it's like,
right.
It makes me super mad sometimes because I have a lot of people who will, like, when I was streaming it all the time, people who would hop in who have never played it and they're like, wow, this game looks amazing. And it does. It looks really cool when you're watching it. There's a lot of shit going on. It's fun to watch. The powers are cool looking, but the moment someone tries to download that game and play it, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. Yeah, same thing. If someone were to ask,
And
it's like, dude, I love the game, but for you, a new player, no.
Yep. Yep. So
Like, and it's sad to have a game like that is so good, and you don't want to grow the community because of how frustrating and how just
You're like deterring people away.
yep.
yeah, how
Yeah.
shit ass it is.
So
It's
That's where I'm
Destiny
at with COD.
Destiny 2 had some major drama over the last couple weeks. Bungie was under fire from the player base because a really prominent player in the community named Cruz was banned. Um and the reason why is because he was using a cheat engine while playing another game. It was a single player game, and it triggered an automatic ban in Destiny 2's cheat software. Now
Mhm.
Cruz claims that the it was a how did he put it? He claimed it was a fucking like a world economy cheat for a different game. And for
Mhm.
those, and quick background for those who don't know who Cruz is, Cruz is a Destiny player who has won a total of 4 world first raid races. And if you don't know what that is, if you're not a Destiny 2 player, every time a new raid comes out for Destiny 2, for the first, I think it's 24 or 48 hours, I forget. I think they increased it to 48 hours. Um, there's a special edition of the raid that you can go through that's like the super hard difficulty, and if you're the first team to get through the raid before everybody
Oh,
else, you
nice.
get like a bunch of special shit from Bungie. They like send you jackets, and you get like special icons and emblems and shit in Destiny. And
It's
he's
pretty
done
sick.
yeah, and he's done that 4 times. And I mean, I've seen these world first raid races, like I've seen them go for 15 hours straight. Like these guys,
Jesus.
yeah, these guys go hard in the fucking paint. Okay, they go hard in the paint. That was the other reason why I love Destiny 2 so much, is because like that type of shit. Like a 6-man raid, and it took them 15 hours. Like that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Um, but cheating has always been a big problem in Destiny 2. It's a problem in a lot of different games. Um, But Cruz, he, like I said, he was using, I'm trying to find the rest of it. Okay, so based on Cruz's account of the events, he likes to play an old RTS game by himself, specifically Total War Shogun 2, for which he also uses a cheat engine to generate currency at the start of a new games. The program, called Art Money, was flagged by Destiny 2's anti-cheat detector as Cruz accidentally opened the game while the software was running, triggering automatic ban. And then
Damn.
his ban in Destiny 2 was reviewed by Bungie, as reported by the player with a screenshot of his appeal, but the company confirmed it after investigating the situation. Art Money is still considered a memory editing and debugging software that is automatically marked as a cheat program, as stated by Bungie in the appeal response. So they have decided to essentially uphold the ban, and they're not going to reverse it for Cruz because they can't be 100% certain that the Art Money program wasn't interacting with their fucking software in any way, which I I don't know how I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like there should be a way for
That's
him
a
to be
tough
able to
one.
prove, like there should be a way to prove that he was or was not fucking using the cheat on their engine, but
Yeah, you
I'm
should be able
not
to look into it.
yeah, I'm no expert on that shit, so I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I feel like there should be a way to look. But sad day for
I
Cruz.
would think, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
sad. It's a sad day for Cruz. I loved watching his world first raid races. So I pretty sad to see that.
oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's major rough because that's, he's done 4 of them. He's done 4 of
Yeah,
them. So,
it,
and the shitty part
undeniable.
is if he was cheating, that makes it even worse because that's shitty that he's been lying
right.
and cheating, like who knows, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to say one thing or the other for sure, but who knows? It's a pretty shitty
Well, that's
situation.
just it.
Yeah.
That's just it. If he wasn't cheating, it's a shitty situation because you figure Bungie should be able to look into it. So,
Mhm.
what is Bungie really not saying? I guess could be
100%. 100%.
that could be construed, and then it's shitty on the other hand because if he was fucking cheating, those 15-hour raid races theoretically mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So it just sucks.
Yeah.
And for someone like Cruz, like, that he's a content creator and most of it's around Destiny. So pretty crazy that just got fucking essentially taken from him, because if he was using a program in another game and being truthful about it, he just forgot to close the fucking program before he opened up Destiny. That was it.
I mean, but that is a risk when you're doing that. And I mean, it sucks because he's doing an offline first person RTS. Like, cheating in that one doesn't affect anything but your own gameplay.
Yep.
And especially a currency cheat. Like,
Yeah,
how many
because
of us
I've
up
used
down R1 L1 R1 L1? You know what I mean? Like, GTA cheats were a way of life.
yeah, I've definitely used. Well, I've definitely on my PC itself. I have Dying Light downloaded, the first one, and I was running through the game with I was using the cheat engine Mod, and it essentially allows you to easily like turn on cheats for whatever PC game you want as long as it's supported through there. So like you can have like, better health, unlimited money, unlimited resources, like that type of shit. Like if you're just goofing off in a game. And so I definitely use that, but I don't play anything from my PC that's like super competitive, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. Or even live service.
exactly. I mean, the
Yeah,
only
you
game
know.
I played on my PC that's live service that I played for a little while was Predecessor, and that was before I got my PS5. And as soon as I
Right.
got my PS5 and I had it on PS5, there wasn't really much reason to touch it on PC. Matter of fact, I need to delete it from my PC because I need to make room, so I have more memory.
Video's getting a little too big there, Chow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a hard drive. Well, I'm gonna have to buy a hard drive to store all of our past epis on, because I save all
Yeah,
of them just in case. You know what I mean? And
right.
there's quite a few of them now, and um now that I've been recording them in OBS instead of using the Twitch recordings because the quality is better, um
Right.
fucking the videos are like an hour and a half. It's like 10 gigs at 1080p, 60 frames.
Oh, 100.
Yeah, so
100. Yeah, that's why I had to stop doing my archival recordings, because all of a sudden my laptop that I used to run my stream off of, my fucking laptop was just like giving me critical low memory errors, and I looked and I'd filled up. I mean, yeah, I've got a bunch of documents and all my personal stuff is on that laptop, but damn, dude, I went through and deleted that and cleaned up half of a terabyte on my hard drive.
see, and that's what I'm saying. Like
And I'm
I'm
like, holy shit. And I mean, you're talking between clips from me clipping on OBS,
Yep.
the records, like, oh my God.
Yep. And I still have a couple 100 gigabytes left, so I have plenty of space, but I'm gonna have to delete some shit soon. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um but um yeah, I think that, fuck, dude, I went space brain
Well,
right there.
that's a fucking that's a kick in the nuts type of day for either side on that conversation. Whether Cruz is
Oh
right or
yeah, yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
it's a kick
yeah.
in the nuts for Cruz
Fucking
and
stoner
Bungie.
brain over here. Totally fucking just had a brain fart.
You're good.
Um,
You're good. That's why we're here.
but yeah, the Destiny, I agree with them, but at the same time, I feel bad for him just because that sucks ass. That super sucks ass. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So,
Yeah, that just I don't it's I really see maybe Bungie doing kind of the high road thing here and just kind of not saying what is being said under between the lines, by saying they can't tell whether that had ever affected his gameplay in Destiny or not. Because there's got to be a way to tell.
yeah, I was gonna say there's got to be a way to tell, but whatever.
So yeah, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Shitty situation.
Yep. And then the next thing, let's move on to because I brought up Spider-Man. March 7th is the day for the big update for Spider-Man 2 on PS5 for those who haven't seen it. New Game Plus and some other features will be coming to the game. Pretty excited
Very
for
nice.
that. Yeah, pretty excited for that myself. New Game Plus on Spider-Man 2 is going to be sick because I grinded the shit out of my first playthrough, so I have pretty much everything unlocked. So upping the difficulty by 1 and going for New Game Plus should be a good time, I think.
There you go.
That game was a ton of fun, and so I know I'm gonna have a blast playing it. But I think that'll be something I do off stream. That's gonna be a background, like if I'm just chilling at home and I got like only an hour to fuck around, it'll be one of those games. Just because
Right.
I treat those types of games like, I can jump in for an hour, and even if I'm in the middle of a mission, I'll just pause that shit, save it, and fucking quit the game. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? So,
No, I think that's exactly where it was. That's how I am, like with Hogwarts, right? I mean, I can come down and be like, oh, I'm gonna only be on for an hour, and the next thing you know, it's been 2 or 3 hours. I can easily do that because I just get lost in the story and the gameplay, and
especially with Hogwarts Legacy, dude. I find myself doing that too. Like, I don't even, like, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'll be flying around doing something. I'm like, oh wait, check that out.
yeah, no. Or I'll be like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna do some castle stuff. I'm gonna run around the castle. I'm not really gonna do any missions. And the next thing you know, it's like I keep finding the Daedalian keys, and I'm like, ooh, okay, now I know how to do this. Let's go. And now I'm going back into the castle and learning all the different little puzzles and getting all that shit unlocked too. And it's just like I literally can get lost for a few hours in it and be perfectly fine. But then I'll have it like this one, right? I'm in the middle of a mission because I was just like, all right, I got to this pause point right after I'd done the first step in the mission where you polyjuice into Professor Black.
Yeah.
And I just was like, okay, pausing it here. When I come back, I'll vaguely remember the story.
Dude,
But
that game, they did so good with the puzzles.
Yeah.
I love the puzzles in that game.
Yeah, that's what
they're a ton of fun to play. Like, and the combat too. They did really good with the wand combat.
Yes, I will agree with you on that one.
I love the way it looks, and I love like the little flourishes when you're throwing your spells and shit. The way you look, like it just looks so good.
Yeah, no, hands down, it is one of the games that I recommend to anybody. I think the only downside is like they don't have, although they are, I'm hearing, I can't remember if it's confirmed or not, but they are putting out a fucking Quidditch game.
Yes, that is confirmed. I was actually just gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yes, because that is one thing I was very bummed about when Professor Black says, due to danger, we're not having Quidditch this year. And it's like, what
the fuck? Yeah, exactly. No, I said the same shit.
Dude.
But when he said that, I also knew right away. I was like, guarantee they're making a fucking Quidditch game. Guarantee they're making one. Because something like that needs its own game, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody remembers this, little nostalgia throwback, but back in the PS2 days, they did have Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. And if you were like me, you spent hours of time playing that fucking game because it was pretty well done. And it was a ton of fucking fun. I played it for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Is it just going to be DLC?
No, it's going to be its own standalone. Yeah.
So
That's stupid.
So I'm hoping. I can see both. I can see kind of Chowdr. Yeah, it does. If they do it right, it can be its own standalone game.
Oh, it should be its own standalone because there's so many different teams. Like if you look back in the Harry Potter lore, when in the Harry Potter movie, when they go to the Quidditch World Championship, they're at the 840th Quidditch World Cup.
That's true.
So yes, there's so much shit they could do for a Quidditch game. Like
but all the different Final Fantasy X and Blitzball. There was a fuck ton of teams. It was like its own game within a game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just think that like it being a standalone game is a-okay. Just because they obviously put it into the story well enough with Hogwarts Legacy. Like even without there being Quidditch in the game, there's still so much to do that I didn't find myself like, I was like, oh, it would have been really sick to play Quidditch, but I still don't find myself like, oh, this game sucks because there's no Quidditch in it. Like I never one time said that. So
I
them,
just hope like in the future they do mesh the two together. Because like
yeah,
if I'm
That's
playing
that's what I
Harry
was
like a
thinking.
Harry Potter, Hogwarts, whatever, like nah like dude, I definitely expect some Quidditch, man.
oh
Like
no,
Dude,
110%.
and it's so
it
rough
is very disappointing it's
flying
not
in
like
the
a
Quidditch pitch.
DLC.
Yeah, and
So I
it's I think that
that
they're gonna do a
that would
good
be sick.
job. And the other thing is, them doing a standalone game will allow them to more fine tune the flying controls. The controls
Hmm.
in Harry Potter and Hogwarts Legacy are good. The flying controls are good.
Yeah.
But I think with a standalone game, they could take more time to fine tune them with different controls because you're not worrying about getting off the broom and the other stuff that you can do in that game. You know what I
That's
mean?
very true.
Like like
Totally.
you like Grand Theft Auto Online is a great game and it's a ton of fun to race in it, but it's not a racing game. If you want to play a racing game online, you'll go play Forza Horizon or Gran Turismo online with your friends, like something that specializes in that. You know what I mean? So it's like to
Mhm.
me, I see where they're going with it because they can make a lot of money off a standalone Quidditch game. That's the other thing we got to
100.
think about. Like yes, a
Totally.
DLC would sell well, but a standalone
It's the
game,
same company too, yeah.
yeah, I think it's the same company. I want to say it is.
Or
Um,
at
Makes
let me
least the
double
same
check.
It definitely
studio.
makes sense because, like, if you look at Capcom and all these remakes they've done of Resident Evil, like, they're just testing mechanics for their next, like, staple in the series. So,
Yep.
um, I could definitely see, I forget the name of whoever made Hogwarts, but, I could definitely see that being
Ooh.
part of it. Like, let's just make a game and just build off of that. And then down the road, maybe mesh the
Maybe
two. But,
that would be cool if down the road maybe they did put in the ability to join the Quidditch, right?
mhm.
That
I
would
think it'd
be
be really cool, like, keep it almost like a World of Warcraft sort of deal where like, the school is literally just full of other players. I always thought that would be such a cool
that
idea. So
that would be sick. And that is one thing I wish.
an
I mean,
online universe.
I do love the idea and I love the single player experience in it. Um
Hmm.
it it's one of those games when I don't want to deal with the world. I go and do that just cuz like I don't have to communicate with anybody
Yeah.
Yeah.
type deal. Like so it definitely strikes my single player itch, and I get that quite a bit. There's nights like last night, man. I came down and logged in and fuck Chowder. Hey Joe, what's up, man? Like fuck Chowder. If you hadn't been on, I probably would have gotten off and just gone to bed. Like in all honesty,
Oh yes.
for the few games that we did play, just because I just wanted to play with the homie.
Yeah, I totally get
Right.
that. And hey Joe, um yeah, I totally 100% get that. I was just sitting up playing games with my I was hanging out with my cousin. He stopped by and we were chilling for a bit and we were watching Alaska the Last Frontier on the PC while I was just grinding out the new weapons that I haven't maxed out yet, which I, funnily enough, finished that last night. I've maxed out all the new guns on Call of Duty. So
Nice, good
they have a
job.
double XP event right now this weekend, so I took full advantage of that.
Hell yeah.
So pretty.
But yeah, as far as Hogwarts, like I fucking love the game. I won't call it perfect. I don't think I'll ever call a game perfect. Um, but
I don't know
hands
if this
down,
is. Yes,
yeah.
here it is. So Warner Bros. It's WB Games technically who is making it, but it's made by Unbroken Studios is who's making it.
Hmm. Okay.
So, that Quidditch game, they don't have a release, and Warner Bros. Apparently, you can go to the website, and there's a pretty bare bones website, and you can sign up for playtesting for the game. Apparently,
Oh, nice.
which
That's cool.
I might go do that after this, just to see if I might get lucky and get in there. I've been
Right.
searching my email every fucking day for my invite to the skate playtest, so I'm still got my fingers crossed there. Checking every day. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream that or show anybody that because I'll have to sign NDAs, but I definitely signed up for it and I'm hoping every day I get in there. So, um, I've been playing a lot of.
That would
That's the other
yeah.
game that I'm always constantly playing that I just never talk about because it never gets deleted off my Xbox is Skate 3. The backwards compatibility, baby. I just fucking got that Xbox 360 Skate 3 always in the library, and anytime I got like fucking 20 minutes to kill, pull out the fucking Skate 3 and fucking do some sick tricks and go about my business.
Good.
Yeah, dude.
Call
Fuck,
it a day.
I love Skate 3. Yo, quick side note. I'm watching your gameplay right now, and there's no human alive who could throw a fucking anvil like that.
Dude, I know, right? Dude, you throw that thing so far. Right there at the town square, I really wish that hit the dude in the head. That was so close.
Oh my god.
Literally, I'm sitting here watching it, and you're like, "Yo, quick side note," and he's sitting there carrying it, and I'm like, "Dude, you can't carry an anvil like that. What the
No,
fuck?"
dude.
And then you're like, "There's no human alive that can throw it," and that's when he threw it, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, Jesus,
Dude,
so far too."
dude, just a fucking hulking man, dude, just hucked a fucking blacksmith stone like it was nobody's business.
right?"
And it's so funny because the only reason why I said that is because I just helped my dad move one a couple days ago when I was at his house, and those things are so goddamn heavy, dude.
Oh yeah.
Solid iron.
Yeah, dude. So that was hilarious to just look over and see Kyle's character
that's
carrying a fucking anvil the size of
And then-
his upper body, dude.
and then
Yeah, basically.
throwing fucking 30 yards.
Yeah. But
Oh my goodness.
I am
That
really
was good.
excited about that It's called Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows,
Oh.
keep your eyes out because they announced it in April of 2013. So we're coming up on the 1 year since they've said anything about the game. So maybe we'll get like a gameplay trailer within the next few months. Maybe it'll be really
That
cool
would
to
be
see.
sick.
Or just a little, even if it's a cinematic, just a little something like an update. Give us a little update. How's it going?
Right.
But it's funny that we're talking about Warner Brothers because I've been sitting here fighting the urge the last couple days to start up the motherfucking Lord of the Rings and download Shadow of fucking War and just start going full Lord of the Rings nerd on everything. But Joe brought up something else I wanted to talk about, so we'll just dive right into that subject for a few minutes. Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2.
I have
Taking
it.
over the world.
Yeah, I have it on my PS5. I'm just waiting to get some more homies who have it. I have a couple friends on the PlayStation. Some of my older friends who I was friends with before I got my PS5 when I had a PS4 and shit. They have it, and I played it. The bugs you can kill solo. I've done a couple bug missions solo, and I got through it. It was hard, but I got through it. The automatons, no. Absolutely fucking
No.
not. You're not playing that by yourself. It is hell down there. It is hell on earth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Helldivers is actually quite a bit of fun. I like the way it feels. Definitely a good time, and I'm hoping to get more time in it. I bought it and I've like played it one time because I keep playing fucking Division or fucking Chivalry or other shit. I have too many games I want to play all at the same time.
Dude, I hate that shit.
Yeah. Joe, do you have Helldivers on your PC? Did you pick it up? Because if you
I haven't played it yet.
you don't.
Yeah, I know.
Personally, I just want it on sale. I feel like it's a game I'm gonna like get burned out on or just not play super often. So I just don't want to spend $40. But it looks awesome. It looks super fun. I'm not trying to knock it by any means, but for me personally, I feel like I would just
I can respect
probably
that.
not play it super often.
I can respect that.
But it looks so fun. Like dude, it's literally Starship Troopers, bro. Like, give me that.
Ooh, Joe's gonna jump in after his last Epoch video. Fuck yeah, dude. Well, is Helldivers 2 crossplay? Can PC and
That's a good question.
I know that it's on Steam, but I didn't know if it was. Yes, there is currently crossplay between PC and PlayStation 5. Sick. Okay, cool. So we can join up and play together, Joe. That's good news. I will definitely fucking. I don't know what the plan is after the stream. I don't know what everybody's trying to get down and play. but I
Wait,
might
we
I
have a
might hop in.
whole. There you go.
So,
Yeah, I got a bunch of errands to run, so this will be my event for the day. That's
um,
it. Is what it is when you're helping the wife with her business.
and that's another thing we can talk about. Joe is
Elden Ring.
yeah, but just to say a couple more points on Helldivers. One, for those who don't know, if you're listening to this after the fact and you're kind of just halfway paying attention, Helldivers 2, they had some issues with server capacity. Their max was like 450, and they had a big issue with players not logging out of the game and just staying in the game overnight so they didn't lose their spot in the server. So server queue times were up there. They doubled the server queue at first, or was it 350 or 450? No, and I don't think they quite doubled it. I forget, but it went from like 450 to like, I think it was 700,000 is where they put it, and then it just went up again to like 800,000. I forget the exact numbers. But I think that was the last thing I seen on Twitter, was it was at like 800,000 concurrent, and one of the devs was saying that you might experience some short queue times. Yeah, victims of success, exactly.
Exactly.
They
Not
might
a bad problem to have.
you might experience some server queue times, but they put in an update to kick people who are idle for, I forget, I think it was like 15 minutes. So if you're idle in the server for 15 minutes, it will boot you back to main screen now. So that way it's booting idle players who are trying to server camp, so you can't do that. So people can get in. But yeah, the game is blowing up, and from everything I've seen, it's blowing up. It's doing bigger numbers on Steam than it is PlayStation. I don't know if these numbers are exactly true, but I've seen a couple reports that it was like 1 in 20. Like for every fucking 20 players on PC, there was like one player on PlayStation. So it sounds like it's being very well received on Steam. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, and PlayStation doesn't report their numbers, and that's the other hard part. So you never really know where their numbers are at 100%. But I heard that the numbers were a lot higher on PC than they were PlayStation, which wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But still, the game is doing great and awesome for those devs. Nothing but great things to say for those guys. I'm happy about their success. It's cool to see a little AA game like that fucking hit big and everybody's fucking going ham on it. Like Pal World, same thing.
Setting a new standard.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, dude. Some of these like AA games, what people are calling AA games, they're hitting bigger than and they're coming out better than some of these fucking AAA games that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the AAA industry is not looking super great.
Have to up their game and finally spend money on themselves to like actually better their product.
Well, and that's just it. I think
rather than just
you're
marketing.
you're seeing the pattern throughout all the AAAs where they're looking more into how can they make a profit rather than how can they better their reputation by making a quality product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And AA's, like, that's their strive, is to keep their name up there. Right. So I could see, yeah. And I've always enjoyed
Yeah, 100%.
I've always enjoyed AA smaller studios more than, AAAs, just because you get a little bit more of that love and care into the game rather than the how can we turn this game into a maximum profit for us.
Yeah, and I mean, now that we're looking, like Joe said, now that we're looking at $70 price tags, it's even harder to make that decision to pull the trigger on a game.
Yeah, dude. Exactly, Joe. You play more indie games than anything. No, and they don't, because you do get, problems sometimes in those indie games where they're not as smooth, or they're not as graphically fine tuned as some of these other ones. But man, the heart and soul that goes into them, I've always enjoyed more.
Yeah, and it's just like Chivalry 2. I consider Chivalry 2 a AA game, but the game's fantastic. It's fucking well done.
Amazing.
It's a ton of fun to play and throw your weapons at people. You're cutting limbs off left and right. Like, it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's kind of where it's like, you know, when it comes to COD, that's why I'm glad. Like I still, other than being the battle pass sucker that I am, have not spent any money.
I'm actually, that's something we can talk about, because that was something Call of Duty did something that I actually was like, hey, that's cool. um Fucking usually they have two options for the battle pass, right? You got your base battle pass, and then you got your black cell, right?
Right.
Well, I noticed for season 2 this time they added a third option for you to buy the battle pass, and it's just with COD points, and it's got it's none of the black cell stuff, but it comes with the 20 tier skips if you want it. And I had like 4,600 COD points saved up, and it was 2,400 COD points for that battle pass with the 20 tier skips. Easy choice for me. I was like, sweet. I don't have to spend any money. I get 20 tier skips. I can get instant unlock on this SMG and start fucking getting attachments for it.
Right.
You know?
Oh, and then
and it's
that's
not
why
like,
I think
I'm not. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think that's an awesome option, say for someone like me. Like I enjoy getting the 20 tier skips. I enjoy getting the extra stuff, but man, the black cell, I only use one thing out of every black cell season, honestly. Like I don't use the weapons that often. The skins I think are cool, but then I realize all the kind of visual effects in them really give me away when I'm playing somewhere.
Yep, and exactly, Joe.
Stuff like that. So.
People are trying to skip them anyway. No, I don't plan on buying any more battle passes for COD. I think I can get enough points to just kind of float along and just buy the bare minimum one and just kind of casually play it. And if I can't, I can't, because I'm not playing COD as much as I was. So it's not like a normal thing for me. But like I was saying earlier before you got here, the addiction started. I've already started with my substitute drug, Division 2, and pretty soon I'm going to move on to the full bore addiction, Joe. It's just a matter of it's a matter of weeks, dude. It's a matter of weeks.
The inevitable.
The inevitable is going to happen, dude. That's how it always happens to me. So, but I would actually like to talk about Division 2 just a little bit. Their last update for year 5, they're in year 5 of that game, by the way. They're going strong over there. They got a little community that's been really keeping it fucking afloat. It's at a point now, though, where they've really optimized a bunch of stuff and added some ease of life things and made looting, like going out and grinding for loot, a little bit easier. The game is in a really good spot, and it's been a ton of fun to play. And they've added some great updates and buffed some equipment to make the game easier to play solo, which is something I really enjoy. Because I do enjoy playing that game solo. I do like playing that game with friends as well. Like me and Chosen got down on fucking Division 2 on stream one night for a couple hours. But I definitely enjoy playing solo and those types of games. I like the challenge. So yeah, but yeah, Joe, it's coming back. It's slowly making its way there. I think I'm going through video game phases, and I'm not sure which one's stronger. My urge to play looter shooters, or my urge to download fucking Shadow of War and sit here and watch Lord of the Rings and slay orcs at the same time. Like I just, you know what I mean? That's why I started playing Hogwarts Legacy again. Fucking we started watching Harry Potter, and I was like,
Yep.
That
hands down was the push for me to finally pull the trigger and buy the game.
Yep.
Was I finally got my wife to sit here and want to watch it, and we watched every movie, and I was like, okay, now I got to get immersed in it.
Yep, exactly, dude. Exactly. That's what happens to me too. Like I started playing this, and then we watched all of the Fantastic Beast movies as well.
Yeah, we
watched
did
them
too.
all. Those were great movies.
Weren't they?
Yep.
Oh, I loved them.
A good nostalgia boner. Exactly. That's why I'm about to. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen. I think the Lord of the Rings thing is gonna happen. So, but I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, and I still think that there hasn't been a cinematic masterpiece just as fantastic as that in a long time. So every time I watch it, I'm just like, God, I love this movie. I love all of them.
Yo, there's a new South Park game coming.
Oh, the South Park game. That's supposed to
South
be
Park Snow Day.
that's supposed to be soon, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I don't see, it just says pre-order, receive the Underpants Gnome cosmetic pack, including the underwear gnome hat, a stylish beard, green tunic, and a yellow cape for free. From South Park Digital Studios, the studio that brought you the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole.
It's next month.
Oh, and Phone Destroyer, which was the mobile card game. It says join Cartman, Stan, Kyle, Kenny in three-dimensional glory to celebrate the most magical day in any young child's life, a snow day.
March 26th.
Massive blizzard. Fuck yes.
So-
Massive blizzard has thrown the town into chaos. More importantly, canceled school. And not only is it 3D, it's multiplayer.
Fuck yeah.
Play with up to 3 friends, use matchmaking, or solo the game with allied bots. Battle through the snow-piled town of South Park. Engage in frantic, action-packed combat against warring factions in an all-new story where you make the rules.
I still need to play the Fractured Butthole.
Dude, the Fractured Butthole was fucking... I mean, I love it, but I love the whole South... Like, both the games were
I have the Stick
top.
I have the Stick of Truth on my Switch.
Dude, yeah,
So-
I bought the Stick of Truth on the. That was the last game that I did the special edition. And got all the bonuses for pre-ordering. So I've got like the little Cartman, the fucking the Grand Wizard Cartman figurine,
Yeah.
and then I got the map, like the map of South Park, and it's on like parchment rather than just paper.
Uh-huh. That's fucking
Dude.
sick.
That's so dope.
It is one of the few games I make an exception with when it comes to turn-based. Like, I immediately grabbed it because I was like, it's gonna be funny. So
Yeah, and they did change the battle mechanics up a little bit in the Fractured Butthole. Yeah, now it's more pattern-based turn style when you're battling. So like you can go in with, I think I went in, you can go in with like up to 6 enemies or 6 allies if that's the fight that you're in. But then each ally does certain attacks that do certain patterns, whether they're X's or, you know, just straight forwards or massive blasts. And so you can move them around this checkerboard, and it's
It's a tactics-based game. Okay. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay. Word. I'll have to...
rather than like the first one is this player's turn, he's striking that enemy. This one is this player's turn, he's doing this attack in certain, so it's tactic based.
Yeah, no, I definitely plan on picking that one up eventually and playing it through. The South Park. I remember one of my favorite games on Nintendo 64. I forget what the name of it was, but it was a South Park game, and it was like an FPS, like James Bond style. Like you could run around and like throw dodgeballs at people. There was like a free for all where you could do 4-player split screen co-op and fight people like your homies with Nintendo 64 controllers. But there was like a whole story mode where there was like turkeys taking over South Park, and you had to go run around and like fucking throw snowballs at turkeys, and you could piss in your snowballs and throw them at people. It's so fucking awesome, dude.
That's awesome, dude. That's probably one of my favorite things to do, just because it's absolutely outrageous. In the Stick of Truth is use every toilet. Mm-hmm. And pick up the turds, because then you can throw them at people, and it's just the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, and definitely, Joe, there are a lot of different ones. One of the other games I play all the time is Civilization Revolution 2. I have that Xbox 360 as well, digital, and it's back compat, and I play that every once in a while, and it's kind of like a board game, but it's like a board game fucking Risk. It's a little bit more cartoony, but really good time, really a lot of fun, and I still play that every once in a while as well. So yeah, tabletop, exactly.
There you go.
It doesn't look like a board game. It's like a globe. It's like a cartoony globe, and like everything's in hexagons, like six hexagons. It's a weird game, and it's like I think it was Greg who showed it to me forever ago, and I just got addicted to it, so I bought it on 360, or bought the 360 version, and it's one of the other games I play that's turn based. There's only a couple of them. But yeah, I think I just watched Kyle kill fucking Luke. Sorry. I just sit here watching the screen and watch Kyle just fucking that was hilarious.
I think I kill Brad shortly after.
There's so much team damage in Chivalry 2. It's you try so hard not to,
Yeah,
but
if you're not
it's
using the right swing too.
yeah. Like I always forget when I get right next to someone to do my overheads or stabs, and I always do those big
Yep.
wide slashes, and I'm always like hitting like 3 of my teammates.
Oh, right here. I'm pretty sure I hit him.
Yeah, you did. You just took him out. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, right
Oh,
there.
God.
Boom, right to the head.
Man.
He's fun.
That's honestly, dude, team damage is why for the longest time in Call of Duty I didn't run lasers. Like I would purposely turn them off because I played hardcore and I got sick of getting kicked from matches because I would just lob grenades.
Appreciate that follow, Lady Krillic. Appreciate that
Hey,
follow.
nice.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
But
do you see Age of Empires is coming to mobile?
oh, really?
I think it just launched, or not launched, but they just dropped a gameplay trailer today.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
Talk about nostalgia. Yeah, seriously. I was like, oh man, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Age of Empires mobile.
Age of Empires. Yeah, old school, man.
Oh, it's out.
No.
You can install it right now. It's in the Google Play Store.
Oh, it's out? Oh, wow.
Oh, no. It's on a
Nice.
time. It's got a timer. Hold on. This game will automatically install when it's available. So you can register to have it. When's it coming? Does it say? No, it doesn't say.
Yeah, I didn't see a date in their thing.
Damn.
I mean, hey, dude.
I didn't watch the trailer, but
I have to say, I think mobile games have come a long way.
fuck yeah, dude.
I was just playing
time.
I was playing Call of Duty Mobile the other night, and I have to say, I'm pretty genuinely impressed with what they've accomplished on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
Dude,
why in the fuck is the phone game so much better than the fucking console one? What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, you could probably run, like, Command and Conquer and shit like that pretty easily now on phones. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
dude. No,
Yeah,
it cracks me up because you can hook up a controller to your phone and play Call of Duty with a controller on your phone, and that shit runs fucking better more of the time than the fucking. It cracks me
Than
up.
your
Dude.
actual console.
Yeah, dude. Cracks me up. I was playing it the other night, and I was like,
Computer.
this is ridiculous. How is this good? And they even have like Warzone. You can go play Warzone on your phone. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
So,
Fortnite mobile, all that shit.
Yeah, it cracks me up. And there's a game that's fucking, it's called, what is it called? It's like League of Legends mobile. It's a MOBA. It's a MOBA that's a ton of fun to play as well.
That's cool. I could see that. League's been out for fucking eons, so
yeah. So it's like it's crazy how those games.
they got a big enough fan base.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, also nostalgia boner. Fucking was going through the game store, found Line Rider on the phone, like the OG Line Rider, dude. I picked that up immediately. I was like, I gotta have that. I gotta have that on the phone.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's Line Rider.
Oh, we didn't talk about Paragon Overprime.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah,
fucking RIP to the competitor of predecessor. Sad day for the devs. I honestly feel bad for them, but I'm glad it wasn't predecessor. Okay, exactly. Glad it wasn't predecessor. Exactly.
I think it's just like pretty obvious now that like predecessor is like the one. If you're trying to play Paragon because you missed the shit out of it, you're playing predecessor.
Yep, 110%.
And if you're new to MOBAs, like you can easily just pick it up and play. Like,
yes, and that's the other thing that is actually really awesome about that is you can hop into that fucking game. You can play AI matches until you feel comfortable, and then you can hop into a game. It's a MOBA still, though. The community's still toxic. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Okay, there's some fucking
ignore the command chat if you're new.
Yeah. Okay. There's fucking some toxic ass shit that happens in that game still, no matter what. But you can be a new player and get into that game. I feel like easier and more comfortably than you can get into League. That's just me though.
Yeah,
That's just
I
me
definitely
though.
prefer. I don't know if it's like the third person versus the top down view, but I definitely think the third person is a little like nicer. I don't know
Yeah, I think, well, one, I think that also comes down to personal preference. Um,
for sure.
and then, like, just looking at, like, I think that the community in League is a little bit more toxic. It's obviously larger because it's fucking League, but I think it's a little bit more toxic. And same thing with, like, Dota. Both
Hmm.
of like trying to be a new player and hop into a new match, like you make a fucking mistake, your entire team's just gonna berate
Yeah,
you for
hate
fucking 20
you,
minutes, dude.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
berate you. And it's like,
No,
dude,
like
how are you
don't actually ignore the chat, but like once people start like spamming the same thing, it gets to be like in your head a little bit, and just watch a YouTube video, man. Like there's some
exactly.
good shit out there.
Well, even still, like you can watch a lot of YouTube videos, but until you get in and play a few matches and get some practice in and feel how the game flow goes,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a hard time. And that's the thing about MOBAs, and like the flow is so much different from than your average multiplayer game. Like it's so much different, and so
Hmm.
it's you gotta, like, being a new player into a MOBA, if you haven't played other MOBAs and you don't kind of know the flow and like the rules of, like, the unspoken rules, you're gonna get fucked on pretty hard, pretty quick.
Yeah, you can't just go in and push people. Like, you only
100%.
have like one dash. Like, there's a lot that goes into it that isn't just really explained. So you just kind of have
Exactly.
to
And
figure it out, unfortunately.
exactly, and characters are, and each, and different characters have different abilities. Like, I can tell you personally, when I'm playing Drongo, I know for a fact that if Chimera's on the other team, I'm building tainted rounds. But if he's not, I'm not building tainted rounds. Like, it's just, little things like that that you have to learn from playing matches and getting that experience. But how are you supposed to play matches and get that experience when the entire community is just a bunch of fuckos?
Yeah, a bunch of assholes.
Yeah,
If you got homies to play with, obviously that's the best way. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta grind it out yourself. I definitely remember doing that on Paragon a few times.
exactly. And
Few hour-long sessions just by myself.
yeah, and I haven't actually sat down and played Predecessor by myself, I think, yet, since I've downloaded it onto my PS5, just
Yeah,
because,
I
like,
haven't.
yeah, and that's the thing, is like I want to play it by myself, but like we talked about earlier, when you're juggling 5 or 6 fucking games and I have free time to play a game by myself, I can't justify playing Predecessor to myself, because I'm like, fuck, I could use this time.
Just save that for when the homies are on.
Exactly. I could use this time to go solo grind some Division 2 because this is the best time to do it because I'm by
Yeah.
myself. Or I could use this time to put more time into the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima so I can move on to fucking God of War. But it's just little things like that. So
Doesn't end up working that way.
I know. I
Yep.
know. I would love to get, and I honestly, like, Predecessor is one of those other games where I actually feel okay when I spend money on that game. And so I've been thinking about getting some more of the currency so I can get the premium affinity track for Drongo, because I want all that
Hmm.
extra stuff, And I'm thinking about Howitzer as well. I think Howitzer is going to be my mid lane main. Like, if I have to play mid, I'm going to go Howie. So I've been trying to, and that's the other thing. There's only one lane I really have been avoiding, like it's the plague, because it's not my favorite to play, and that's support. That's the only one I really hate playing, is support. I'm just bad at
Yeah, I
it.
don't mind. I've been trying to get better with steel,
Yeah.
just because we need like a tankier team most of the time. So
Well,
try and build with steel.
and if you can play an aggressive support with steel, it's honestly not a bad time. But as I learned yesterday, I might try to learn how to play Richter in the support role, like that one dude was doing, because he was
Yeah, that's
fucking
another
shit up.
really good support character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
if you
fucking
can
shit up.
land that rope.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
They
know.
just
Well,
need to make like a fat scorpion skin for Richter.
fat scorpion skin. That would be funny
You know
though.
what I mean? Like that'd be so sick.
That would be funny though. That would be fucking funny. But actually, this is a great time to talk about some more team-based stuff. There's been some shit. I've been seeing some articles about Overwatch 2. Um,
What's that?
So,
Well, I know what Overwatch is, but like, what's the news? Sorry.
um, so it was just this article, and I mean it's from Kotaku, so take it with a grain of salt if you will. Um, they have, Blizzard's made a lot of changes to Overwatch since the first one. Um, a lot of changes that personally, some changes I didn't agree with, some shit I didn't mind. First change that they made that I did not like, which made me really fall off the game, was when they went from 6v6 to 5v5. Some people claim it makes the game flow better, but I miss having the second edition of a tank. I think only having one tank player is fucking annoying to deal with. Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, having one tank is annoying to deal with sometimes, especially if your tank is not doing what the fuck he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
And then they gutted their, they promised that big PvE mode. They gutted it. Um, they fucking they reworked a bunch of heroes. They gave every character passive healing abilities in Overwatch 2. And I mean, from what I've seen and from what I hear from and what I read and like Reddit and shit when I'm just skimming through, a lot of people feel like the game is like just turning into a deathmatch battle every match instead of a team orientated fucking thing like it used to be, which makes me sad because the first Overwatch I put quite a bit of time into with Joe and a few other people. Yeah, and I agree with you there, Joe. It was just an updated Overwatch.
Mm.
And that is also very true. You can't even go play the first one, which
Right.
is annoying. If they would have left the
That
first
is
one
annoying.
alone, yeah, they just updated Overwatch. They didn't make a second game. They just updated the first one and fucking ruined it. Because the first one had shit right in my opinion. The way that game felt and the way it felt good to play and it was fun to play. Like you would have really good matches. Now the way Overwatch feels, I just every time I try to play it with Gage, I just end up getting mad. I'm just like, this just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right anymore. So
Yeah, it's always
it's
shit when they do that.
yeah, and so I've just noticed the fall off on that game. Like I know that the homie Gage still plays it all the time, which shocks me because it's just not it's not what it used to be, but it's like the one game he consistently plays. It really cracks me up.
Right. I know that was how my daughter was. She loved Overwatch 2. I played it with her for a little bit, and then I got her into Fortnite.
Yeah.
And so now she's she's all on Fortnite now.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Joe. Overwatch 2, there is fun to be had. Every once in a while, I still have a good fun match. Some of the new characters they added are pretty cool. I give them that. But it's not the same. It's not the same as it used to be, and that makes me sad because the first Overwatch, when Overwatch first came out, that shit was fire. I don't know if I don't know about you guys, but I played that shit a lot. So, um I don't know, it felt really good, and so it is sad to see that, and I've just seen the fall off on it, and it's crazy to watch. I still talk to Gage about it every once in a while, but it's just it
Oh yeah,
it's
hundred
so
percent.
shitty to see a
Loot
game like
boxes
that.
are better than Battle Pass.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Battle Pass is just a pyramid scheme, basically.
Yeah, dude. We didn't realize how good we had it back then, dude. You didn't have to buy a loot
Yeah.
box. Everybody just complained about it. You just didn't even have to you just got them for leveling up, which was sick, but you didn't have to go buy them. People did. And now it's Battle Pass. The FOMO's real.
Hmm. Yep.
The only game that's implemented a battle pass system that I actually can say I enjoy and I stand behind is Halo Infinite, because to this day I am still currently grinding on the original season 1 first battle pass that came out with that game, and you can grind on it
Right?
until
Yeah,
you can still grind on it to this day. And if you want, you can go and purchase any of the battle pass seasons from any of the other seasons that they've released, and you can work on them to your heart's content.
that's awesome.
That's the only battle pass system that I've been like, okay, that I can stand behind and I can agree with. It's not up in your face. You're not forced to get it. If you want to, you own it. It's yours to keep, and you can work on it as much as you want, whenever you want. I think that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So if games did shit like that, I'd be behind it. But some of the, like, that's the problem with like Call of Duty's Battle Pass and Destiny 2's Battle Pass. That FOMO, dude. I just, like, sometimes I like be at work just sitting there thinking about the fact that I need to go home and play video games because I'm gonna miss out on shit I don't want to miss out on.
Right.
So yeah, and I guess Fortnite too. That's why I've been taking a break from buying Fortnite battle passes, because there was a while there where I had Fortnite crew. Yeah, I also agree with you there, Joe. I miss the good old Bungie Halo days, but
Dude, big time.
what was
Big.
It's the past, the good old days. What's that? What's that?
Past?
What's that fucking that quote from The Office when that guy's standing there? He's like, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days when you're in the good old days."
Literally,
right. It's so funny because you'll sit there and you'll be bitching about a game, and then 5 years later, you're like, "Man, we had it so good back then. Why were we bitching?"
Back in the 360 PS3 days, fucking Guitar Hero was the thing. Halo 3 was rocking it. Modern Warfare 2 was all the rage. Fucking Black Ops 1 was on its way. Fuck, dude.
Yeah. The heydays, dude. The heydays.
Yeah. But imagine a universe where Bungie kept making Halo games. Yeah, they would be at a fantastic place right now. It would be at a really fantastic place. But I definitely
back when competition was good.
Yeah, back when competition was so good. Exactly. I mean, those two game systems, PS3 and Xbox 360, are goated forever, dude. Those, like, I'll never forget the first time I went over to. It was at a Christmas party that we went to, that I went with my family to, and it was the guy who used to own the Silver Coin, actually, in town, and his son had just gotten a PS3, like, right when they came out. Like, it was, like, 2 days after they had just came out, and it was, like, the big fat version, and he was in his room on a big screen playing fucking Madden. Like, it was the brand new Madden on a PS3, and I'll never forget how just mind blown I was. I was like, "Oh my god, that looks incredible!" You know?
Yeah. No, hands down. I remember when the PS3, the original PS3 dropped, dude. My buddy, we were at work. We worked there at McDonald's in Hamilton, and we were at work, and all of a sudden my buddy's dad came through the drive-thru, and I was working drive-thru, and he literally was just like, "Hey, Steven, get Nate up here." He came through late, so I brought my buddy up, and we're sitting there, and he goes, "Hey guys, look." He holds up the box to the original PS3, and we're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then as he pulls forward a little bit, he gets to where the back seat of the truck is, rolls down the window, brand new big screen TV, just because he could.
What
I'm like, dude,
fucker.
you fucking suck.
Yeah, dude.
And then he never touched it. He hardly ever let any of us touch it. He's like, "Nope."
Dude,
I'm like, you suck.
Dude, fun fact. Pretty soon, dude, at some point, I'm going to be able to tell people that I'm so old that I bought a PlayStation 3 from Sears when they were still a thing. How about that, dude?
How about that?
Because I did. Our little Sears store was right across from McDonald's. You remember that? That little Sears place? That's where I bought my PS3 back in the day, dude, when it was still a Sears, and they sold consoles and games and controllers in there, actually.
How about this one? I bought my first console that I bought was a PlayStation 1, and I bought it from Kmart in Hamilton.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. I remember buying games from fucking Kmart back in the day, dude.
Right, dude?
Ah, dude.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss that shit, dude.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, dude. That's hilarious to even think about. Like, all of my games used to come from Kmart. Like, every single video game I ever played came from Kmart. So crazy.
Big time. It was the worst, dude, because you had to do it from Kmart. Otherwise, you were driving all the way up to Missoula, buying a game, and staring at it in the backseat of the car for an hour.
Yep. Well, okay. I will say I do remember doing this when GTA 5 was released. This was fucking over a decade ago now, right? When GTA 5
Right.
was really no, what year was that? I think it was like 2000. I remember being like right out of high school, I feel like. So it was like 2013. Yeah, so it was like a decade, a little over, right? It was winter time and I had 2013, the year I graduated high
Yep.
school. That's what it was. I thought so. Um fucking uh I had ordered the game online on my phone, like pre-ordered it, and it was gonna be mailed to me, and it was supposed to show up that morning. But I was so impatient that I canceled the pre-order on my phone and drove to Missoula in a blizzard with Carson, with my two homies in the car, behind a snowplow. Like you could see maybe like fucking 30 feet out in front of the car. And a little front wheel drive fucking Mazda, no radio. And we drove to Missoula at like 11 o'clock at night. Got there a little after midnight because I was still going faster than I should have been to get there. And bought the game at the midnight release from Best Buy. And then drove home and stayed up all night playing Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, GTA 5 was a rite of passage. Yeah, 110%.
For real.
But also, that just goes to show the power of Grand Theft Auto. Like, there is not another video game that exists that I would have driven in a fucking blizzard for an hour to go pick up at midnight. And that's a fact.
100%. 100%.
That's a fact. And when GTA 6 comes out, if it's the same situation,
literally the same.
Literally will risk my life to go pick up that game. But thank God digital is a thing.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm making it happen.
Actually, GTA 6 might be a game that I buy a disc version of for my Xbox, if that is a thing.
If that is a thing,
So,
that is a very,
there's probably gonna be like
a nowadays.
Deluxe or Ultimate or a collector's edition of some kind that they're gonna do. You know they're going big for this, man. It's gonna sell out, which can't happen, but you know what I mean. It's just gonna sell.
I will drive my ass to Missoula. I would love for them to do another midnight release like they used to. I thought midnight releases were sick.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I'd pay $200 too, Joe.
Yep.
Yeah. It's GTA 6.
I would literally pay $200.
It's fucking GTA 6.
I know it's going to last 20 years.
Exactly, dude.
For real.
Rockstar's cooking, and they know they're cooking, and they know that when this game drops, everybody's going to fucking flock to the stores. Dude, yeah, and I would pay a monthly subscription. 100%, Joe, you're right. The money I'm willing to fork out to play Grand Theft Auto 6 and the online is haphazard.
Yeah, like take me to the addictions meeting.
Why are you here? I can't stop playing Grand Theft Auto 6. Like when Red Dead 2 came out and all those memes were all over the fucking internet of people like sitting on their fucking like saddle, their fake horses in their front room playing Red Dead. Like it's gonna be one of those types of events, but times 10. It's Grand Theft Auto, dude.
I mean, just like what they did with 5. So I mean, everyone needs to just prepare themselves.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's going to be out forever, and you know, there's going to be potentially the monthly subscription. So
oh yeah, dude,
and a huge price tag. So
oh yeah,
and pop culture explosion, big time,
dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I straight up right now still pay for GTA Plus. I still pay for GTA Plus because I have the next gen version of Grand Theft Auto Online for my Xbox, and I pay for GTA Plus because not on stream every day I log on to that shit to go spin the wheel and fucking do a couple other things in GTA. I still do that. So it's Grand Theft Auto is the shit, dude. Like I will never. That's my. I love that game.
There you go, scratch.
Yep. Now I have the GTA itch, and it's so easy to get that itch, dude. You talk about it for a minute, and it's like, boom, you're in it, dude. And the online.
I haven't played it in so long.
Yeah, and the online, they have done such a fantastic job with the online for that game. Like GTA Online is its own game in its own. Like it's its whole own game. You can spend literally thousands of hours doing that and still not be bored.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You really like it would be beneficial, I almost feel, to I know we've talked about it before, almost do like a separation to where you have a team just working on the online and then a team
Would
just
be
working on
nice.
the iterations.
And then just, it's
But
the free to play, but do what you will with it.
Right.
And then just constantly update the maps or, whatever.
Yep. And Joe's right. GTA 5
Yeah.
still constantly is killing every open world game on the market.
Well,
Yeah,
that's kind of
but-
Rockstar's own fault, but yeah.
And yes,
With the Red Dead 2.
With the Red Dead 2, that is Rockstar's own fault. That's something I think we've talked about.
Yeah,
and
we
it's something that
time.
I will fucking say every time the subject gets brought up. I
Huge
love
missed out
Rockstar. Yep.
opportunity.
They fucked up with Red Dead Online. They fucked up. They could have made that shit so awesome, and they could have done such a great job with it. But GTA Online was such a monster, it cannibalized all of their other shit.
Yeah, which I mean,
Nope.
you can't blame them, but
Yeah.
they could have done so much more and put a little bit more effort.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I was thinking
Like,
about that the
yeah.
other day. Like the amount of missed opportunity in Red Dead Online is it makes me so mad when I think about it, because there's like the amount you missing out on bank robberies with the homies, like
Ugh,
full on
yeah.
bank robberies,
dude.
full on, like you can do some train stuff now.
Train
but
heists.
yeah, dude, there was none of that. Yeah, and
It's
Just
basically
took forever for them. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
yep, and
right.
also
Well,
It wasn't
it's
even
just-
an online.
And Joe brings up a great point there as well. The story DLC, for GTA 5, they talked about a story DLC. I feel like I remember back originally, but GTA Online became so big that they just fucking put everything into that. I bet you there's a couple fucking things that are online pieces that were slated to be fucking DLC sets
Part
that
of
they
the
turned
DLC.
into fucking online packages. I would 100%
Yeah, that came
agree.
out like a couple months ago, I think, where we were supposed to get the DLC, but online just moneymaker and
Yep.
just
And
doing so well.
I mean,
They really could have like their own
Yep.
online like story,
yeah,
just
absolutely.
kind of put some spins into like the intro, certain missions you do, kind of brings you to like the next chapter. I don't know.
Yeah, the fucking
Dude,
that
yeah,
big, like, for example, the first thing I think about is that fucking gigantic the submarine heist and online shit for GTA Online. I guarantee,
Yeah.
I guarantee that was a huge part of the DLC. Like, you go to a
Yep.
whole separate different map. There's a submarine, all that shit. So it just definitely, like, I'm not going to sit here and complain too much because all of that shit was free updates. Like Rockstar gave all of that shit to us for free on the online. And I mean, kind of for free, actually. Let me argue that point. If you didn't have GTA Online money, the only way to get it quickly was to buy it. So let's be real. Some of those DLCs did cost $20 for some people because they're impatient as fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
that's just the way that works.
every time I boot up GTA 5 online, I'm still grinding just to get the fucking military, the fucking Osprey or whatever.
Exactly.
And get that. Like it's like and it's like I need fucking like 20 million and I'm at like 2.3 and I'm like, this is gonna take for fucking ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like so it's like, and then I'll go in and I'll do it, and of course, it's not crossplay, so I don't really have the homies that I used to have on there. So I'm going around doing all these missions like, ooh, here's 30,000, or I'll join a heist, and we did a heist and completed it, and I loaded in, and while I'm in the middle of trying to bank the cash in my pocket, the host of that heist just blasted me and stole everything. I'm like,
dude,
damn it.
Yeah. No, it's I I think Rockstar has built themselves a monster, and I've put a ton of money into it, and I will spend money to play that game because I love it that much. But I see what they did. You got me, because I'm still gonna spend money on it. I ain't even that mad because you guys did it so well. It was like, okay, whatever, dude. Like you can't sit here and tell me that there's not some people that doled out money to buy themselves a $6 million in-game yacht because it costs $6 million in GTA money, and if you've saved up that much, I mean, it's possible. You can save up that much money and you can grind it out, but it takes motherfucking time. Trust me, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, takes a
So,
lot of time.
yeah. So, like, that's why, like, I have no problem admitting it. I cheated. Okay. That's the other bonus of GTA Plus. For $6 a month, measly $6, the price of a Starbucks coffee, okay, which I don't even drink, you get $500,000 a month plus like free properties and free cars. So it's way more than $500,000 if you think about it, but you get 500,000 of in-game cash. So with that plus all of the businesses that I already had in GTA Online that I can go like steal cars, and just recently they've added their the salvage shop, the chop shop DLC. That is the easiest way for a solo player to make $400,000 a pop every time you do a mission. It's actually pretty simple and easy to do.
You are true. That's the one game that there's
Yes.
the absolute king of microtransactions, as Chowder's sitting here talking about, and no one gives a shit.
Nope,
we don't bat an eye at.
No one does, and it's because the shark cards were just like they fucking made like they made it little credit card things. They made it little credit cards,
Right.
like they made it look all fancy, and they just kind of shoved it in there, and everybody was like, "All right, we're not gonna talk about this." Yeah, they've been doing it forever. Yeah,
and yep, no one cares.
No one cares. I mean, like, all I know is that now Rockstar has to be, like, amongst the top richest of all the fucking game developers because of how much money they've made off of Grand Theft Auto and shark cards. Like, oh my god, how much money they've made off of shark cards in Grand Theft Auto.
Big time. And it's all digital currency, so there's no physical
Yeah, dude.
There's no physical cost to it other than the labor of a dev putting it in.
Yeah.
Like,
there's
and one purchase could pay that.
Yeah.
Like, so it's pure profit. And yeah, I'm with you on that one.
No, it definitely.
I think I would.
It's hilarious how they've gotten away with it, but it's also kind of like it makes me slightly nervous for what kind of shenanigans they might try to pull for GTA 6. Like, who the fuck knows what we might be walking into, you know what I mean?
10 Cent owns 80%.
Oh, it's 10 Cent. That's the fucking greedy bastard. See how it works.
Yeah,
10 Cent
no
is
kidding.
actually 10 Cent's taking over, dude. They're slowly but surely. Yeah, 10 Cent does that. It's like was just recently, I think 10 Cent fucking bought a decent chunk of Sony as well, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. I feel like it was Sony though.
Xbox and Microsoft as a while is going to go. Oh, as a whole. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after that little 20-minute podcast and them talking about new Xbox hardware and stuff. The messaging still feels mixed to me, so we'll see. I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens.
Man, but yeah, no, GTA. It's a money pit.
Oh yeah,
at this point.
Oh
really.
yeah, and they know for a fact that they have another game on their hands that people are gonna just fucking shell out cash for.
Yeah, big time. Big fucking time.
It's no brainer. Everyone's gonna be like, let's go.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying they're leaving.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it will happen eventually as well, but how eventually, I'm not 100% sure, just because who fucking they could change up their plans. I'm sure that leak with all that stuff fucking had some effects on the inside, so we'll just have to wait and see how it shakes out. That's what I've been waiting to see. I want to see how it all shakes out, like by this time next year. I want to see where the industry's at. Yeah, and same can be said for Sony. I agree.
No, I 100%, and I think we've talked about it here on the podcast multiple times. I mean, at this point, in fact, Chowder, I think you and I kind of really had a good conversation about it. That one, it was the episode just you and I,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where the writing's been on the wall. Like I said, my laptop that I bought in 2017 has an Xbox dashboard on it, so the writing's been on the wall. Now, are they going to do it? Eventually, yeah, I 100% agree. And I 100% agree that even Sony's going to eventually just go all digital and do a PC interface, basically, because I could 100% see that. So
Yeah.
I think I'm with you on that one, Joe, as well. Nintendo will be the last to kind of go that route.
Yeah. I think PlayStation can't ignore the success of Helldivers on Steam. So it's just a matter of time before they start porting their games day and date on on PC, which I honestly don't give a shit about exclusives. I don't. I fucking
No,
especially
that's where I'm at.
it's like who really like it's such a dumb thing. And honestly, it has been so much fun the last couple weeks to just see all the fucking meltdowns on Twitter from the hardcore fucking fanboys who like live and breathe by the console wars. I love trolling those dudes on Twitter. All right.
Dude.
I just can't believe like how like the meltdowns people are having on Twitter. It's been ridiculous, dude.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. And I mean,
Like,
and that's the other thing that we can talk about a little bit pertaining to this subject is, you know, a lot of this started with those rumors about the 4 Xbox exclusives coming to PlayStation, and then come to find out it's Pentiment, Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush, and and what was the fourth one? There's a fourth one. I'm trying to remember what the fourth one is. I don't even remember.
But basically, they were what, B-rate titles.
They're all
They're
double.
not
They're,
even,
well,
There's
they're all
nothing
double
crazy,
A.
man.
Yeah, they're all double A
Yeah.
titles. Nothing super crazy. Hi-Fi Rush was pretty well received for what it was. It's like a
competition can breed great
Yeah.
games if they take advantage
I
of
agree
it,
with
and
you,
they
Joe.
just haven't been.
Hi-Fi Rush was pretty well received. From what I seen. I didn't play it. It's a rhythm based fighting game.
For sure.
So a little different. Grounded, I can tell you I've put hours into. Grounded is a fucking ton of fun. If you're into survival games, Grounded's fun. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids survival. You're in a backyard, you're smaller than ants, and you're running around fucking harvesting like grass and killing ladybugs to make armor out of their shells and shit. It's a ton of fun. Yeah, and I agree with you there, Joe. The games were way more competitive because they had to pull people over to their ecosystems. But like
Yeah.
Phil Spencer himself has said, if you come down to console war stuff, Xbox lost the most important generation to lose, which was the PS4 Xbox One generation. That's where everybody built these gigantic digital libraries for their fucking consoles. And Xbox lost that generation, period. And it's gonna be nigh on impossible for them to build that momentum back.
I mean, yeah, but I guess I can see exactly what you're saying, Joe, with the exclusives seeming sucky, but in the long run, we do get better games.
I mean,
yeah, I see it, but
I think that's a good argument to be made for it. But I can also say that, you know, eventually, don't you think that the gaming industry wouldn't get down to the point where it's like, okay, if all games are releasing everywhere, it's not so much about the hardware, it's more about the quality of the game. You want people to play your game, you have to make a good game or people aren't going to play it.
Right. I mean, I could definitely see that. Yeah. And that's my thing, you know, when we, you know, back when
And 100%,
we didn't
I
have
agree with you,
crossplay and
Joe.
everything like that.
Yeah, I think that
Yes.
Nintendo will
Games
hold on
like
to
this,
their shit for till the bitter end, till the very bitter end. But I don't know. I could just see both sides. Like I could see the gaming industry wouldn't be what it is without exclusive games for consoles because they make great games that way. But I also think that if exclusive games were just slowly done away with, it would end up coming down to the quality of the game. Period. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I can see a future where it
100%.
works, but it never seems to. Exactly. Exactly. No, I 100% agree with you. Like I think that eventually maybe it would get to a point where it would just be about the quality of the game, period, because everybody can play it. And like as 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 an adult, my childhood dreams are slightly being realized with every game that comes out because I'm playing most of my multiplayer games from an Xbox with people on PlayStation. I've been wanting to do that fucking since the beginning of time on Call of Duty. Okay,
No,
since
absolutely,
so
absolutely. That's like I said, being a PlayStation guy, right? Black Ops 1, all the great gaming back there. Like I got a 2 week advantage on the new season passes
mhm.
and all that shit. But at the end of the day, I wanted to play with everybody,
Well, exactly.
and
Like
so
I just remember like back in the day, it's like you go over to like if I had a PS3, I go over to my homie's house and he had an Xbox 360, and it's like fuck dude, I want to play Halo, so we'll have to play split screen. But it's like like I understand like exclusive games are what sells shit, but at the
yeah,
same time, I if you can't afford that shit, you want to play with your friends, it kind of sucks sometimes. It's the same thing with like Call of Duty. That's why I'm glad the crossplay has finally gotten to the point where it's
right.
at, because you want to play with your friends, but it's like I don't want to go spend a whole nother couple few $100s on a console and buy another version of this game so I can just play with my friends. Okay, and I can see that.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I said,
and I totally
I think
100%
that's
agree with you, Joe.
that's
I think
gonna go.
eventually, I think they're gonna make their own storefront, and I bet you it's just a matter of time. Um, for their sake, I hope it runs better than the Xbox PC app, because everybody talks
Oh yeah,
so much trash on the Xbox PC app for a reason. It is pretty shitty. I get through it and I still use it for some stuff, just for like if I'm like right now, for example, I'll like if I get a message on Xbox that I don't want to pull up on the screen, I'll check it on my PC and shit like that. But it's not something that I want to use every day all the time. So so we'll just yeah, I'm interested to see, like, again, we'll just have to wait and see what the gaming industry looks like in a year, like this time next year, and see where things are at, because you never really, like, we're not gonna really know until that time. Um, but for the most part, I think I don't know. I just think a couple games going over, like everyone's freaking out about it and saying that it won't be the only games that go to PlayStation, but I'm not too worried about 4 games going over there. I don't it, I don't really care that much. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still playing games that I like and I'm still enjoying myself, so yeah, and that's the thing, is even if it's not the only games, I'm not too worried. Yeah, exactly. They do this all the time, so we'll see what happens. Um and either way, I don't really care. I think I think for example, I think Grounded was a good fucking start game to go multi-plat, because I think that game should be experienced by everyone. I think it's a great game. So, more players to play it and more eyeballs on that studio making it awesome. Awesome for those guys. I think that is a win-win. Um, it's a it's a ton of fun. So, and we'll see what other games they pull over. Um, I even wouldn't be surprised if they eventually brought fucking like Starfield over to PlayStation. I think it'll be a little bit more time before they do something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't really think it's the same thing. I mean, there are some games where it's like, fucking I don't understand why necessarily it needs to be an exclusive 100% of the time. Like, there's already talk of Halo going over to PlayStation, so it's just one of those things. I mean, yeah, competition definitely isn't fair, but at the same time, like, if a game's been out for a while and it's old, I don't, there's different, it's a gray area because there's going to be different situations for different games, and different games are going to warrant, like, Spider-Man will probably never go to another console. It might go to PC, which is fair to say, but Spider-Man will always be a console exclusive. There's a possibility now, from what I've seen, that Halo and Starfield could go to PlayStation, but that's what I'm saying. It's just something that Xbox
so far
does.
down the road.
Yeah, it's so far down the road.
That's not going to be like even the next couple of years, I don't think.
Yeah,
like,
so I just
Halo, Gears of War, like those are going to be a while if they ever do.
If they ever big time.
So, I think that I kind of agree with their sentiment of when everybody plays, we all win. I kind of agree with that. To a degree, I don't think it should be just across the board bland, but
right.
I like playing with my friends no matter where they're at. I do enjoy that very much so.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's kind of that's always been
I
my
wish PC would stay out of some of the multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Like shooters.
I don't know. Maybe not. I would like to. It would be interesting. Again, we'll never know because we'll never see a universe where Xbox is in that position. But I would like to think. You would like to think that they would have the same sentiment, but maybe not. So it's one of those things where it's just like you never know until it actually happens, which is the shitty part.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those. It's one of those unlimited what ifs.
Yeah, unlimited what ifs. Exactly.
Right. The Xbox One was such a disaster and the least consumer-friendly thing on earth, and now they've backed themselves into a corner.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely the Xbox One was definitely a shitty release, but I don't really think they've backed themselves into a corner. I think that Xbox is making some interesting decisions, but I also think that I don't think they've backed themselves into a corner. I mean, Game Pass is doing pretty well for itself.
I mean, both have sucked for the last few years. These last couple of generational console releases have been catastrophic.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Xbox,
and mostly for Sony.
Yeah, the Xbox One definitely is what made them lose all their momentum, but I don't really feel like they're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it is growing though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's one of those like, we're gonna take a loss for a minute, but it'll pick up.
And
I think that's exactly what the business model of Game Pass was. Is hey, we're gonna take up to what it could be. I mean, you're going on 6 months of Game Pass, 6-8 months.
And I definitely don't think they would have just invested billions and billions of dollars into a gaming studio if they weren't planning on keeping it around for a while and making it profitable at some point. Like, that was a lot of fucking money they just spent on ABK. So they definitely
There's only so many things that are like intentionally like
I just said
losing money.
Right.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Joe. I just said that he said that because the Xbox One and the PS4 is where everybody built their digital libraries. Yeah, he said.
I think Epic Games actually operates at a loss.
Yeah, which wouldn't surprise
me. Or their store does. Sorry, but Epic Games as a whole is like very profitable.
Yeah.
It's weird how like some of that works. Is like their stores generally are just like shit, especially like the Epic Games one, because most of their shit's free. So their store literally just loses money. But Epic Games as a whole, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's what he's saying, Joe. Is
Epic, for sure.
Epic as a whole is, racking it in, but yeah, their storefront is.
Well, but that's the same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft as a whole, definitely fine. Definitely fine.
Doing awesome.
That's very true.
They're doing fine over there. They got $100 bills in their couch cushions.
Yeah, Microsoft's doing fine for sure.
It's weird how some of those just business models, like they have so many different operations and they have so many that lose money, but the whole corporation as a whole it's fine. Business is weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 8%. That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So
They could do a
Literally
total. They
nothing,
could do
dude.
a total loss, like 100% loss on on anything Xbox, and they're like, eh.
Yeah, like I get that, and I feel like PC is definitely like pushed, but consoles are so like every household has one. It's like having a fucking DVD player back in the early
Oh
2000s.
no,
Like you
absolutely,
had one.
absolutely, and especially when think about it, right? The generation now that is, homeowners, home renters, building families, stuff like that, right?
well,
We all grew up on consoles.
I agree, but
Yeah,
I feel like in the case of Stadia, Joe, Stadia was trying
a little
to
niche.
it was a little niche, and they were trying to jump into a pretty already convoluted ecosystem where people were already set on PlayStation or Xbox or on a PC. And so introducing a new fourth system would be pretty hard to get people to jump over to that, especially if it's
Yeah,
only
it's gotta like
cloud.
really be revolutionary.
At least in my
Yeah,
opinion. At least in my opinion. I'm no expert, but that's how
It
I look
sounded
at it.
cool, but like once it came, I didn't bat an eye at it. Like it sounded cool, but just wasn't no interest.
they really could have
Exactly.
thrown at it, but again, we're all kind of almost set in our ways or set in what
Yeah,
we,
like
so
Yeah,
everybody's using one of those three, if not a
yeah,
combination of two. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got those. So it's I I I feel like it was just going to be very hard for them to get in there and be like, this is what's happening.
yeah.
right.
That's why handhelds are like more successful. It's like it's not a new console; it's just a different way of gaming. So you're not, playing like at home, it's on the go, or something like that, or you can use the
Right.
handheld device and also control what's on the TV. There's just multiple ways, but Stadia just seemed kind of niche.
Yeah, I agree with that, Joe, but I think maybe they seen how much
I
money
think it went to Sim. Yeah,
they would have had to thrown a lot of money at it for 30 years to get it to stick, I feel like, especially with cloud
Oh,
technology not being like you cloud technology not being fucking, and I would like to see
that's
numbers on
interesting.
that one.
Yeah, that's it. I would love to see that. That's crazy if that's the case, and then for it
Yeah,
to not stick. Whoa, that's what like
because if
what
Stadia
was the
actually
what was
had more
that doing
users than
that?
Xbox, I feel like it would have stuck a little bit harder than that.
Yeah, like what did it do wrong if that many people had it?
right. I could feel that because yeah, that was one of the things. Like I said, I got I got the PlayStation, so I didn't even bat or lift an eye for
To pay
a
for each game. Hmm.
right. But I didn't even lift a finger, bat an eye at a new console that's not grounded. Right. The only reason me as a heavy PlayStation user, I would buy an Xbox, and I have access to an Xbox, and it's simply for the nostalgia of Halo. Like hands
It's
down.
me, but
That's
for Gears.
right. See, in Gears, I only played Gears of War 3, and I liked it, but I wasn't big into it. But I didn't get the opportunity. Like the only time, yeah, I owned an Xbox 360 at one point. That's because the local Radio Shack where I was working in
Shout
Eastern Montana had a good deal on it. Like I got it
out Radio Shack.
right.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got I got an external hard drive with the purchase of the Xbox 360. So
Oof, yeah.
and I mean at the time I was low internet, so I had to make sure that I was buying stuff that I could put onto the console and boot up without internet. And so having that extra hard drive was great. That's the only reason I got the Xbox. Within 6 or 8 months, I had sold the Xbox to a buddy and upgraded to a PS3 because that's what I wanted.
For
So
sure.
it's just one of those things. So yeah, when a new console comes out, like I didn't even lift up my eye if it's not one of the three, and that's kind of where I stand on the Stadia. So yeah, what did they do
Agreed.
wrong? What did they do wrong if they had more than Xbox at one point, other than they had to pay for each game?
I mean, it's the 360. That was my second favorite console ever.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Legendary.
Hands down on the 360. You know, other than that, yeah, I had access to an original Xbox. I played Red Dead Revolver on an original Xbox when a buddy of mine lived with us in high school for a little bit, but I've always had a PlayStation. So that's just kind of how I've been.
Joe, I definitely see what you mean by that, but I just found an article from The Verge and I can share it. I'm going to share it to you. This article is talking about how NVIDIA GeForce, the CMA, during all of that nonsense with ABK, they found that Stadia only hit about, it was estimated 0 to 5% share of the cloud gaming market. They had 750,000 active monthly users, falling short of their 1 million after they launched in 2019. So I find it kind of hard to believe they had more users than Xbox. Only because
Maybe it's a number related to something else.
yeah, I mean, maybe it was a number
How
related to
many
something else,
categories?
but
Right.
750, this is what I'm seeing right here, and this was just released
I think it's
from,
1,000,
yeah.
not
Yeah,
million.
it's 750,000 registered.
No,
That'd be insane. That's like
750,000 monthly monthly users was what
a
they were
whole ass
getting
city,
at.
like LA. Well, I guess they have a couple billion, but whatever.
But if that was how many
Whatever.
actually registered, that I did not see.
Yeah, I don't know. Crazy, dude.
Big time, but such is the way it works.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's got to be a hard market to jump into when you've got three big names that have been out for decades.
Yeah, there's some big staples, man. Like Nintendo
Yeah.
ain't going anywhere, Sony ain't going anywhere, and
No,
well,
and
sorry,
even
not Sony, but PlayStation, Sony,
right,
you know, and
even
Xbox. They're
even
set.
even if they go away from hardware, they're still gonna have the software available. They won't go away from hardware till the groundwork is good with the software.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a
Because
while
of
before
COVID.
cloud technology is anywhere near.
COVID just sucked for everything,
Yeah.
but totally.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
All the component shortages for, you know, Sony when they were making the fucking thing, and then
Yeah. Well,
you know,
that's like
everything else. They need to
that.
get away from that. It's
Uh-huh.
like
Right.
that one chip. I don't even know what it is, but every time we talk about a new Sony console, that's it. We're waiting on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then Joe
We're gonna
brought
be
it up.
short. There's gonna be a shortage. Like, fuck
Right.
off. Figure it
Right.
out.
Well, like I said, Joe just popped in with a very valid point. Xbox and Sony so slow as fuck because of COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
when the whole world shut down and we couldn't get anything, yeah, that really. So I mean, if Stadia, it's weird that they.
There was a few things during that time when those new consoles came out. Like, not only was there
Yeah,
the
exactly.
shortages, you had the COVID, but also you had the fucking people that were going online and scalping the consoles, buying as many
Yeah,
of
the
them as they
scalpers
could
they
and
were
then
huge.
scalping them online. There was
And they were like
someone,
Yeah.
bots too.
yeah, dude, and there were bots doing that shit. So it was like, I will never
You couldn't
forget,
get one.
dude, I'll never forget the day that me and Gage got our consoles. It was like, dude, it was like fighting for a bid on eBay, dude. It was ridiculous. Like, I had the Walmart app downloaded on my phone, and you could see on the app they were dropping the consoles on the app in waves because that's how fast they were getting bought up.
Yep.
And so I
Oh,
forget what time it was, but they said there was a new wave of consoles being put on the fucking Walmart store at this time. So I sat there and just waited,
oh, nice.
waited.
That's cool.
And as soon as it fucking hit that time, I fucking had all my information put in the app. I just fucking hit the buttons as fast as I could and hit buy, and I got the email that it was purchased. And I
Nice.
jumped so high, my head almost hit the ceiling. I was so stoked, dude. I was like,
I
fuck.
didn't know you could do that, Joe. Like it seemed like it was like scalpers getting like hundreds when, you know, that was going around. I never like looked into an actual like bot, what
being
it
able to
could or
just
couldn't do. You know what I mean?
right
Yeah.
But
when used as intended,
yeah, that's awesome. You should do
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
right. But the
That's why
problem
we
is,
have this
like,
awesome technology.
right.
Yeah. No.
The problem is, and this is a rule that I live by, is you never underestimate the power of the loophole.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then someone's gonna be like, "Well, I'll just create another account, get another one."
Yeah, exactly. Like, never underestimate the
Yeah,
power of the
higher
loophole.
quantities. Yep, just sucks. Someone's got to ruin it for everyone, and then it turns into basically a pyramid scheme. And how can I capitalize?
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We waited until GameStop had one, and it was a bundle, so I still ended up paying more than like just base price. But I got Gran Turismo, which I never played, and then some other game, and like I think another controller or something like that. Oh no, it was the charging base. So yeah, I got a couple of things, but
Yeah,
you
see,
couldn't get one at the time, just base.
And I agree with you there, Joe. Crypto can stay dead forever. Just fuck off with that crypto
Agreed.
shit.
agreed.
Yeah, get it out.
Crypto is so.
Yeah.
You want to move to
Yeah.
movies and shit?
I was just about to say, I think it's time to move
Yeah.
to movies, and then we'll get this wrapped up eventually.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just kind of go through these quick. The Boys got renewed for season 5 ahead of their season 4 premiere, which is June 13th. And if you don't know, that's on Prime Video. Emily and I are currently watching that, and we're almost done with season. Oh no, we just got to season 3, I think. So
Mhm.
we're almost there and caught up. But show's fucking crazy. I love the take on like superheroes are just assholes, and there's just a very few good of them, and it's a very realistic take, and I very much enjoy that. If you know me, I enjoy realistic like superhero movies, which is another reason why I love DC so much. So, very cool. And the creator like hates superheroes, so he like made the boys in like spite of that, and I think that's just fucking so cool. You guys will like this. Blue Mountain State sequel series is in development with Alan Richardson to reprise his role as Thad Castle.
Yes.
Very fucking cool. And I think that series just dropped. I forget on what service, maybe like Paramount or like Max or something. So you can watch Blue Mountain State like right now.
Fuck yeah. I love Blue Mountain State. That shit's so funny.
Prime's got
Prime. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, also, Kyle, while I'm
Yes.
thinking about it real quick, I know this is off subject, but I saw something. I can't remember which one was it. Oh shit, I gotta see. She sent it to me. We were scrolling around, and it looks like Max is going to have Sabres at Leafs on the 6th. Just throwing that out there real quick for you.
Sabres on the 6th, like a hockey game.
Yeah, Sabres at the Leafs. The only reason
cool.
the only reason was because I saw the Leafs, so I had to throw that for you.
Nice, that's awesome. I do know that Max has like that deal, and their sports section is like free, I think, still. So if you have Max on like their, it might just be the ad-free one. I don't like ads for Max.
I mean,
so
I don't
just
know.
skipped that one, but
I don't pay for it. We get
really
ads,
course,
and
like
it was
NFL once that comes back, MLB, all that shit, hockey.
yeah,
very cool.
I seen a hell of a fucking hockey fight last
Netflix,
night on my phone.
Netflix has that deal with wrestling now, so
did
wrestling is going to be coming to streaming services.
I think it was the Penguins and somebody else. My God, dude, those two dudes grabbed each other's fucking jerseys and just fucking for like a good fucking solid minute. I was like, God damn,
dude, that was the Western Hockey League game that I went to, and I posted that picture in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 4 or 5 fights that night, and it was just a hard hitting game. It was so great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big fights in the NHL the last couple of days too, which is crazy. Like heavy fights. It was nuts.
Yeah, dude,
it's like frustrations are coming out. It's been great.
One of them's a rookie, so he's like trying to have his like welcoming to the NHL party. It's fucking wild.
Right. Oh, what was that? I was watching.
Oh,
I saw something. I can't remember what it was, but they were talking about how they threw one. I want to say a forward into into the penalty box, and the commentator sitting there talking about like, yeah, last game he had one more tooth, and I think he looks better without it. And you can see him smiling. I'm like, oh Jesus, we're back to this day and age in hockey.
Fuck yeah, man. Dude, take a look at Max Domi if you haven't seen him yet. The guy's got like no front teeth. It's insane.
So
It's
I
so
don't
funny.
know if I talked about this the last episode of the podcast a little bit. I was really excited for that new episode of the Grand Tour to come out on Amazon, and
Yes.
Yeah.
me and Tiff sat and watched the whole thing. It was an excellent episode. They fucking went and bought some they were like 20 grand, a little over 20 grand a piece. It was like an Aston Martin and it was a couple fancy cars, and they did the tail end of the what used to be the Dakar, the French Dakar, the rally race. Like it's kind of like the European Baja essentially, where they go across the
Okay.
desert and shit. Really cool episode. Really awesome
Nice.
cars. They modded them up to
Nice.
fucking like they mod one, the short dude, I always forget his name, fucking Richard. He fucking modded up his car and put one of those top fucking tents on his car. And it was like he was using it for a few days, and he was like loving it and kind of rubbing it in the guy's face. And they went to fuel up, and mind you, this is right after they filled Jeremy's fucking car with sand while he was in using the bathroom. They filled it with
Oh my
sand.
god.
And it was because he was
Jesus.
Oh my
driving a
God.
convertible, and he left the top open, and so they filled it with sand
Oh my
and took
God.
off and left him there. And so they
That's
pull up,
fucked up.
they pulled up to the fuel truck, and everybody's fueling up, and Richard was the last one. And while he had his back turned, Jeremy fucking tied a fucking line to the fucking truck and to the fucking like hatch thing that his tent was sitting on, and didn't say anything. And fucking Richard drove off and ripped the whole tent and the top thing right off the top of his car. It was so
my
fucking
God.
funny, dude. It was so funny. And then he
That's
tried,
awesome.
and then he tried to lower his fucking, his or raise his fucking soft top, because he was driving a convertible too. Tried to raise his soft top, busted out the back window. It's so funny, dude.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I love those guys together, because it's like not only do they do a great job of showcasing the cars and whatnot, and like they go through all that badass country, but they're just so goddamn funny the entire time. They're so ridiculous. I love it so much.
That shit's always the greatest.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a fun watch. And also a little nerd update for my One Piece fans. They released a sneak peek at the dubbed episode. It was like I would say it was like a minute long sneak peek at the dubbed episode of Luffy's Gear 5 transformation. So I'm pretty stoked for that. I've already watched the episode in sub, so I'm pretty excited to watch it up to that point in dub, because I'm at like episode 161 right now is where they just stopped with the dub. It was the latest release, so lots of episodes to watch if you're looking for something to start. Start One Piece, baby. This is your sign. Start it. You won't regret it.
I'll tell you what. I'll work on starting it when you start Halo.
Oh, the TV show? Yeah, me and Tiff actually have that on the list.
Dude,
because that's the other thing I'm juggling is like TV shows, because last night we watched the first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender live
Oh god,
action.
I was gonna say that's out now. How is it?
The first episode. Okay, listen, I understand they gotta make changes for it's a TV show, live action, right? The fighting is super cool. Like those guys using the bending powers and shit, super dope.
Yeah.
Super cool. But I don't like some of the changes they made for cinematic purposes. Like, for example, the first episode of the show shows Aang back with like the airbenders, like before he's frozen, and it essentially depicts him in Gyatso, like Gyatso telling him that he's going to be the Avatar, him going to bed that night, having a sleepless night, and then him taking off with Appa, and that's when he gets frozen. But it depicts that same night when he took off is when the Fire Nation attacked and fucking wiped out the Southern Air Temple, which, if I remember correctly, did not happen at the same time. But they kind of tied it together with
I
like,
can't recall, but I think it was like pretty
I
close.
think it was close, but I don't think it was the same night that he took off. But regardless, for the TV show, like, I'd have to watch the cartoon again, but regardless, for the TV show, like, they did it well enough that it makes sense. Like, Aang takes off on the night that a bunch of air nomads are showing up for the Comet Festival, which is Sozin's Comet, which is why the firebenders are so fucking strong. And it was 100 years ago. And Aang gets lost, frozen in the ball in the ocean. And then the Fire Nation attacks. You get to watch the Fire Nation wipe out the Southern Air Temple. Just
Oh
FYI.
damn.
Fucking dope. Okay, it's really cool to watch. And then essentially within that first episode, the next thing you see is Katara trying to waterbend in the downed fucking Fire Nation ship, which is all in that first, episode of the cartoon. And you get to meet Sokka.
Mhm.
You're at the village. You meet Gran. Um, and then Aang becomes unfrozen, and Appa's there. They did a really good job with the animation for Appa. Appa looks great, in my opinion.
Good.
So I'm excited to see what Momo looks like because Appa looks great.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say Momo and Appa need to be pivotal.
Yeah. Really cringiest cheesy moment though. I kid you not. The actor who is playing Gran, Katara's fucking grandmother, is standing inside the tent with Aang, and they're like just realizing who Aang is, and she says word for fucking word the opening of the anime, like word
Oh
for
god.
word the intro, like how they have Katara like speaking the intro. The
Mhm.
avatar was lost, like all those fucking words. I forget exactly how it goes, but once you hear it, you know what it is. She says word for fucking word the intro to the anime. I kid you not. It is her lines in the TV show. It's
That
like
is funny.
I was sitting there kind of like,
Hell yeah.
oh, they couldn't have done something else for that. Like it was like word for word. And I just was like, okay, I'll roll with that. Prince Zuko's character, little cringy. I'm not a huge fan of him so
Yeah, I've
far.
seen some stuff on him.
Yeah, little cringy. Uncle Iroh, not bad. Not bad. His voice is a little bit jarring to hear at first because I'm so used to the anime and hearing Uncle Iroh speak like Uncle Iroh, and then you hear this dude speak, and you're like, "Fuck, you sound like a white
Definitely
guy.
not the
You
same.
sound like a white guy from Minnesota, dude." Like, I don't know what else to say. Um,
That's amazing.
but it's like I'm gonna watch it through. Watch it. It's not terrible by any means. Like, I see where they're going with it, and it makes sense. Like, if you've watched the anime or whatever, you know what's happening. Oh, that was the end of the stream. Um, but it's not, like I said, it's really not that bad. I say that it definitely, they made some weird choices, but I feel like it's gonna turn out okay. Once they really get into the big stuff, I feel like it'll really pick up. Um, it's definitely better than the fucking movie, so don't need to worry about that. But
I mean,
those live action adaptations of that shit is always, like, they gotta make changes slightly to facilitate certain stuff. It's like the same. I feel the same way about One Piece live action. It's just the changes that they made that they personally chose to make in the One Piece, I personally did not like. So I guess it's gonna be up to each person. But I can see this Avatar: The Last Airbender going pretty far with the series the way it is, because the first episode really isn't that bad. I do recommend watching it and forming your own opinion on it, but I think it's not that terrible.
right. Well, and that's okay. That's how my thinking is with Halo, because Halo's getting a lot of hate.
Actually,
Um,
I'm seeing that the second season's being received pretty well.
I will say this. I will say this. Um, the Fall of Reach, spoiler alert, Fall of Reach Master Chief T-shirt. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, well,
It's
I
pretty badass.
I
So
definitely
yeah,
I plan on watching it, and I made that decision after I was fucking I was scrolling through fucking reels on Facebook, and I got to watch a clip of Master Chief and some chick who was obviously just a soldier, fucking out in this misty battlefield, and I got to watch Master Chief be Master Chief and fight some fucking elites, and I was like, okay, I can get behind that.
No, that's Corporal Perez, and yeah,
Master Chief's the man, of course, because he's Master Chief.
Yes.
Hey, Chosen brother, thanks for hopping in, dude.
Hey, dude, but
The
no,
rogue?
fucking yeah, because they just released episode 4.
Okay.
And episode 4 is the Fall of Reach.
Okay.
And oh shit, like the great thing about it is like they show the backside with Oni and fucking everything like that. So I really enjoyed it. There is some stuff in the first season. It's like, really, like, why would you do that? But then at the same time, I see why it would happen. And
they gotta make changes.
Like, well, they do, and they gotta, right. The one that kind of my buddy brought up, I don't really want to talk about it because I want you to see it and I want you to formulate your own opinion on it. But basically, I will say this: to get Master Chief to where he's at, he does pull his emotions inhibitor out.
Okay, I can see that.
And there are some human decisions that are made on Master Chief's part that probably are not the best, but given the information that you have at the time and the information that maybe he has at the time, it makes sense. It makes sense. So that's as much as I can say. So
yeah, me and Tiff, I think we're gonna watch the first episode tonight because that's kind of what I was planning on doing, was watching the first episode. So
yeah, the first episode's good. Like I said, I enjoyed it. They don't follow the books.
Oh yeah.
But to be expected, and honestly, like, I'll give credit where credit's due. I think the fucking show was amazing. I think they did great on the casting.
Okay, well, I'll definitely be watching it because I definitely want to check it out for myself and see what I think myself, because I don't. That's lately what I've been doing with a lot of stuff, is like I'll look on the Twitters and see what people are bitching about, but I still want to check stuff out myself because.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, did it?
Yeah, so
yeah, and
I'll definitely
the way they do
that.
the way they do the Covenant is great. It's all around just an amazing, at least in my opinion, hands down, probably one of my favorite shows.
For sure.
So,
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, I got, again, juggling too many fucking TV shows trying to get them all.
Trust me, I know, because now that we're into this season and the strikes are over, like all my shows are starting back up. So I've got 1, 2, 3 or 4 that I've been watching, and then I just picked up a new one that launched on CBS that I'm watching on Paramount. Like,
I know, and I still need to get back and continue watching Jack Reacher as well. So there's so many.
Yeah. Well, I know we finished season 2, so we're caught up on Reacher.
Yeah, fucking Alan, dude, that guy, he's so good at that. He's so good at playing Reacher.
He is, and it was even better when I went back, because after we finished Reacher, I was kind of on our Alan Rickman kick, so I went back and rewatched Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, dude, and he's so huge for Reacher, dude. He's so massive. It is crazy how big that guy is. Like, watching him in those movies when he's like fighting people, I always kind of laugh to myself because, like, you can kind of tell that every single dude is obviously an actor who's going up to fight him, because the false confidence in every single dude that walks up there just cracks me up. Like, bro, if this was a real fight and you walked up to that dude and you know he's trained and he's that huge, you ain't gonna talk that confidently in front of him. You ain't gonna talk like that. Oh, dude, it cracks me up every time, dude. Like, I'm just like, that's why I love, like, Reacher. He's so good at it, but he's so big. Like, I really enjoyed Tom Cruise's Reacher as well, and it was almost a little bit like, it was a little bit more believable because Tom Cruise is kind of a tiny dude, but Reacher's like, I am a human tank.
Oh, dude, it's so great, and yeah, Chosen, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I did like the second season better because you got to see more, so to speak. Again, don't want to throw any spoilers out there or anything like that. I do wish maybe there had been a little bit more with some of the character developments that they'd done from season 1, but I also understand with the story of who Reacher is, him not sticking around, and them not having the same kind of base characters. But yeah, season 2 was great.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's definitely something I'll definitely have to watch.
Yeah, dude. Season 2. Season 1 was phenomenal, and season 2 is just more badass because there's more.
Fuck yeah. Well, I can tell you that I'm definitely gonna be working on watching TV shows, but just so many games. There's not enough time.
No, there's not, and it makes it tough. That's for sure. That's also why, I haven't been putting in the game time that I used to, and it's because, dude, I'm hooked on some of these shows.
Need to go and fucking buy a lottery ticket so I can win the lottery and stay home and play games forever and watch TV.
Right.
But
that would be the shit.
I mean, as for TV stuff, I think that wraps it up for me. I don't know about you guys. If you guys got anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Like I said,
really
my shows are just starting back up, and I don't know. I watch shows that get a lot of hate from people, like Fire Country. I'm super addicted to that. Mainly because I really, after watching SEAL Team, I enjoy Max Theriot's acting style, and he does a very good job in the roles that he's cast in. So, Fire Country is a good one, but again, that's kind of one of mine. The new one on CBS that just launched is this show called Tracker, and it's pretty fucking legit. There's 2 episodes out so far. Second episode takes place in Missoula. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, cool.
But that's
sounds trashy.
let's just put it this way: Missoula and Colt. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But no, that was actually it's a cool concept. The actors doing really good with it, so I enjoy that one. Halo's back on, stuff like that. So, I mean, as far as TVs, yeah, I'm just kind of in the grind of staying caught up on my shows.
Fuck yeah. Word. Well, fucking, I think this was a good fucking episode. I feel like I'm in a good spot to wrap up. This one's gonna take this one's gonna take a little extra long to upload, so I apologize. There will probably not be a stream tonight from me afterwards, but I'll probably be playing games with the homies, anybody else who is. So,
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to play some games with me, hit me up because I'll just be chilling at the house. I'm gonna get this started and do all the fun typey stuff.
There you go. I got to get changed and drive between 3 cities and 2 states.
Oh, fun. Fun. Alrighty. Well, I will fucking talk to you guys next week. Remember, guys, please like, share, subscribe, all the stuff. Check out all of our awesome creators. Links are down below for everyone. I appreciate the love and support. Appreciate everybody hopping in.
Big time.
Yeah, Joe, I hope you have a good day. I know that Sundays are busy days for
Bye,
you,
Joe.
hope you have a good rest of your day. Chosen, sorry you hopped in at the end there, bro, but like I said, we'll be
much love. Appreciate you.
We'll be around. I think, Kyle, are you gonna be streaming after this?
Of course.
All right.
I don't know what I'm gonna play yet. Probably Chivalry, but we'll see.
Word. Well, I'll be in the chat at least. Fucking big chilling. So,
okay.
And if you're hopping on Shiv, I'll hop on the PlayStation. So,
for sure.
Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope everybody who has been lurking, I hope you guys all have a great day as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys. See you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.